I know, it's mad fancy, isn't it? Oh, where's transition? Yes, people, and welcome back to the Rivals here on Spurs Kings TV. We're doing it slightly different today. We've got a versus show for the audience. It's been a long and awaited situation with these two guests. They've been going at each other week after week, but let's get it in. Let's get it on. Let's bring them up. And that's what I want to add to the scene. J rated R. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, like they said to me, like, listen, we need you to talk to this person. I said, listen, you know what? I'll do it this one time for you. You know what I mean? Just like I'll try and talk some sense into him. It's just back to back after last night, so I don't normally do the back to back. So yesterday's show was fun. I'm sure today's show will be fun. Yep,
Bring it
looking
on,
forward
bring
to
it
it.
on. All right, say less. All right, let's bring on the next guest in this versus show, and it goes by the name of Stefan.
What's up, guys?
My
No,
man he gets the fireworks. Yeah.
Jay, I'm the main event, so it's
Whoa,
it's
whoa,
normal.
ready?
But no, but like we've been going at each other in the WhatsApp chat. We pretty much don't agree on 99% of things related to football. So yeah, we just let's make it a show and
Yeah,
see
let's
how
do
it
it, man.
goes.
Let's do it. Without further ado, man. Before we go any further, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. But yeah, we want to talk about Tottenham. Obviously, we just won on the weekend against Manchester United. And the question at the moment is, was it Man United that were dead, or was Spurs that good? And I'll start with Jay. Jay, what was it?
I mean, personally, it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. But the way I look at it is when Liverpool beat United 3-0, it was a testament to what a good side they were, what they've been doing. It was Slot was lauded for it. Now, I'm not trying to say that I need the praise, but I need the acknowledgement of a good performance rather than saying, "Hey, United are bad," because they were bad, but also by the same token, United didn't give up stats and figures like they gave up to Spurs in any other game this season. You know, you can add together the chances and opportunities they gave up versus Brighton and Liverpool, and it still wouldn't add up to what Tottenham did against them. So to reduce it to United were bad, I think is a little redundant, and it doesn't really appreciate how well Spurs played against them.
So what you're basically saying that Spurs, when it comes to United, we actually outperformed both, not Brighton. Brighton, obviously, we're going to play. And I'm
Yeah,
sure Stefan's got views on Brighton, whether Brighton's better than Spurs. We'll get into that later.
I do,
Um,
yeah.
but you're also saying Liverpool as well with Slot. So
yeah.
what would you like to say with that, Stefan? Do you think?
No,
Um,
I completely agree with Jade that the Liverpool win was lauded to like some incredible, just incredible performance, which I didn't think it was. In the group, I've had arguments with Preach. I think similarly. Do Spurs get more negative heat from the press than Liverpool? Yeah. Has Slot been kind of the media darling this season? I would say so because in that Liverpool game, JJ has the right. Man United could have easily scored, I would say, one or two goals, and Xerxes should have finished. But going to the Spurs game, I think context is really important. Man United were terrible in the first half, but then they got a red card, which shows that it was a disgrace of a decision because they overturned it to today. So Bruno is, has no suspension, and when you play against 10 men the way Man United played with 11, Spurs took advantage, but Man United are horrendous. Spurs did play well, but Man United allowed them to play well. I mean,
so
Van de
you're
Ven
saying it's a full storm, basically. You're kind of
for me, it's a bit of both, Ash. But I mean, the first goal to allow Van de Ven to run a 100-meter sprint almost through the pitch, that's a disgrace. That was almost as bad as I think you guys played Everton. He he
yeah.
he,
It
he
was.
did a very similar run, and every Spurs fans will tell you Everton was one of the worst teams that they have watched in a long time come to Spurs. So the way he did that, although it was a great run, I mean, these are seasoned players out there that left him. Delo, De Ligt, they all just watched him. So yeah, I just Spurs fans, it's not you, Ash, but they get ahead of themselves always after one win. You get the compilations and the comparisons. Van de Ven is the best center back in the league now, and Kulusevski's amazing all of a sudden, and all of these like overtakes or whatever. But it's fine. I'm used to it. Kind of like last season when Basuma played 9 or 10 good games. He was better than Declan Rice or Thomas Partey. So it's just it's just your fan base. I don't get.
I mean, I wouldn't talk about fan bases. You know, like let's be fair about something. Spurs aren't really allowed to enjoy anything because as soon as we get a win, immediately after it's, well, you're not very good. You never win anything. It's like Ash. You know what I mean? Sometimes we just want to just enjoy a victory. You know, not even trying to say we're a great side or anything like that. But Stefan has said some stuff about and our style of play.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'd like to hear it on a grander stage, Stefan, because you don't rate us well, and
I really don't.
I feel you're gonna temper it a little bit. You might not.
No,
You
temper.
don't
No,
rate, you don't rate us, but you rate Brighton.
No, I rate the way Brighton play in Brighton's system far more than you.
Why?
And because I'll tell you, Jay, because every single game is a hypothetical with Spurs, which is you could have won that game or you could have lost that game. There's no game where you're fully in control. Like, I just want to big up Arsenal against PSG. That game, the moment Arsenal scored at 2-0, you could even see it from the PSG players. There was no doubt Arsenal were going to win this game. They were complete. They were playing it like second or third. Man City do that. Liverpool, when they were at their best, although they would score 4 or 5, there was never with Spurs, Jay, even in the Man United game, at 1-0 with 11 men, I know you guys had chances, but Garnacho and Xerxes had the best chance at 1-0 of any of both teams. He should have scored that. That was
in what
from
how was the Xerxes chance a better chance than the Maddison chance?
The goal was literally, he had the whole goal to
Madison's
the left
was
side
a one-on-one
for him.
Madison's was a one-on-one.
Yeah, but Madison's was a one-on-one, but he had to dink it over the keeper. The angle was much. In my opinion, Xerxes one was far easier to finish than Madison's because the keeper was
What about Timo Werner's?
When
he ran half the pitch and was one-on-one with the keeper.
Wait, that was after that was after the Xerxes chance or the Garnacho volley, which was again a basic cross, which your defense
again, but that's not a better chance than Brennan Johnson's. So
I disagree. Brennan Johnson, the angle was far more.
And Garnacho, the way Garnacho hit that made you think it was an easier chance than it was because that's a great hit.
No, it's not only that, he had so much space, Garnacho. If he just placed it a bit better, he would have scored. He had so much space.
What's your overarching criticism?
My overarching criticism going back is that every single game is a hypothetical. The Newcastle game, we played well, we could have won, but you lost because you always concede chances. The Arsenal game, we dominated possession, but we did nothing. Yeah. And then Arsenal knew that every team knows that if they play the right way with you, you will give them at least one big chance in each game. And Arsenal knew either it's going to be a set piece or a counterattack. We'll let them have the ball. We'll play with a low block and then counter them or score from a set piece. Exactly. It happened exactly like that.
But the thing is, Stefan, you're talking like teams want to do this. Teams don't want to do this. We're making teams do this. Teams are looking at us saying, we can't play this team one-on-one. If we play this team one-on-one, we'll probably get beat. Brentford didn't. Brentford's plan wasn't to come to Tottenham and get their ass kicked. When we played United, their plan wasn't to be dominated on the ball. So my point is that if you look at what Spurs are trying to do, there's only really Man City, yeah.
Only Man City. So you're saying, wait. So you're saying you're a better.
I know you don't know what I'm saying because I haven't even said what I'm saying. So you can't say you're saying. I haven't even said what I'm saying yet. So what I'm saying is Man City's style of play is a unique style of play. In the Premier League, at the top of the league, there isn't another team that plays that specific style of play. Yeah. So I'm saying Spurs are trying to implement that style of play. Right now, you can say that's not going to work. Yeah.
It
You
won't.
can say it's a poor style of play. It gives up too many chances. I will say, well, we've only ever seen Man City do this to the best. Nobody else has really tried to implement it over a prolonged season.
That's not true, Jay.
No,
Man
it
City,
is. It
no,
is.
no, it's not. Man City adapt and change.
No, right.
I
Listen,
remember.
but Stefan, you're missing the point. Man City's have an overall. When have you ever seen Man City play a low block? Never.
With us, when they beat us 3-1 2 years ago, when we were
they played a low block.
Yes, they had 35% possession. They played long ball.
No. But there's a difference between you making Man City have less of the ball and Man City setting out to play in a low block. There is a difference between those two things.
Jay, you just asked me, when have Man City changed their style to play in a
low
block?
I'm saying they didn't change their style. I'm saying you made them play in a low block.
No, we didn't.
Pep did not come out and say, right, lads, we're going to sit deep for Arsenal. Never.
Yes,
never that.
Yes, we were.
Never. Oh, my days. Pep would never set a low block for Mikel Arteta. Are you mad? Pep Guardiola,
have you watched
greatest coach of all time, is setting up a low block for Mikel Arteta. Listen to yourself.
The last 2 games at the Emirates, when they beat us 3-1 and when we beat them 1-0, they played with a low block. What are you on about? Against Newcastle, towards the end of the game, in the final 15 minutes, Man City had every single player behind the ball. What is this? What is this notion?
But Stefan, you're mistaking game state with
No, I'm not mistaking game state. I just gave you 2 games.
Game state is game state. You know, if you're 1-0 up and you're in the last 5 minutes, and you're going to go through to the Champions League final, you ain't going to be bombing forward. Do you know what I mean? It's just, that's just logical. I'm not really classifying that. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a bit semantic-y to classify that as a team playing a low block or being in that.
Okay, I just gave you an example. When they beat us 3-1 at the Emirates, they played long ball down the left channel because that was where Zinchenko was, so he couldn't cover it. And they knew Haaland would be able to run into that space. They had 35% possession.
Yeah, but
they didn't play they didn't play out of the back like they usually do. They played long ball to Haaland consistently, and they beat us.
But again, you're conflating here. A tactic to go long to Haaland is not the same as me saying that they're playing a low to mid block. But let's get back to the point that I was trying to make. Tottenham are trying to play a style of play. Yeah, the only Man City have perfected in the Premier League. Only Man City, to the extent that they're winning trophies with that style of play, right? So it took City 1 year, more or less, to implement this with infinite money and unlimited quality players, plus the best coach in the world. It took them still 1 year to implement this. So I'm saying, if it takes Tottenham 2, 3, 4 years with a lower budget, with a coach that isn't as good, I'm like, it's very early for you to be like, I don't back this. No, to me, it's just a case of this is pure evolution of what the team's trying to do. And you're going to see layers as the season goes on. Season on season, you can already see improvements from what Tottenham are doing. I find it funny because there's always data to say that Tottenham are crap, but it's always too early with the data to say Tottenham are quite good. I always find that quite funny with this kind of stuff. Spurs season on season. Last season, beat Everton 3-2. This season, beat them 4. Yeah. Last season, lost to Newcastle.
You still lost to Newcastle. And
the point is, and I know this sounds stupid, yeah, and this might sound stupid. We lost better, yeah, and I know that sounds silly, and I know it sounds silly, but the performance versus Newcastle versus last season, it was improved. The performance versus Arsenal, you lost 3-2 last season. You lost 1-0 this season. I mean, you still lost, but that's the point. Spurs' performance levels versus the same fixtures that you can look direct. They're playing better. You can directly correlate the two fixtures.
Are they?
Yes,
they are. Playing better? Are they? Okay, you beat your best game, I would say, under the Ange Postecoglou. Your 2 best games that I've watched you. Because the Man United game, I'm going to put a massive caveat on that because you played against 10 men for
why
over.
Why are you going to put a caveat on it? We drew 2-2
because you played against 10 men. You played against, let's be honest, a finished team that doesn't believe in
Right.
their coach. Everybody can see that. And you played against 10 men for over 45 minutes. In
What?
my
What does
opinion,
what
let
does
me
that change?
but wait, Jay, let me finish. Like I let you talk. Your best game that I have watched where you truly dominated the game end to end, the whole 90 minutes was one game during the season
What was it?
last year. And that was Newcastle at home when you beat them 4-1. Every other game, every other win that I can remember, it could have gone any other way. I
Okay.
remember Brentford at home. 3-2.
Okay.
Brentford had so many chances. I
Okay.
remember Everton at home when you beat them 3-2 also. Everton should have easily equalized at least
Okay.
towards the end of the game. And in those games now, the Brentford game, the one that you won 3-1 and you deserve, you played better. But at 2-1, Brentford had two golden chances,
Right.
especially one which was a brilliant save from Vicario.
But
And this will not and that's why I don't believe in the system. I
but
watched this guy go down to 10 men against Karabakh, and if Karabakh had not even a decent finisher, a fucking just a normal player, they would have scored 2 goals in that game.
Yeah.
And I watch him play the same way. I watch him lose to Chelsea 4-1 at home and do the same stupid
okay,
high defensive line that he
but you're
does.
using last
And
season.
people call him genius. People
But
call him
Stefan,
genius.
but Stefan, it's funny because what you're saying is funny because you've already illustrated Spurs are playing much better because the point is that you just said you could only remember 1 or 2 games last season where Spurs outplayed the opposition and comprehensively should have won.
No,
So
I didn't say that.
that's what you said.
No, I
That's
didn't
what you
say
said.
no. I didn't say that.
That is
Jay.
what
I
you
said,
said, Stefan.
no. You have outplayed the opposition I said from minute 1 to 90, you were
What?
by far the better
Right.
team.
Okay.
In most of your games last season, and you would
Okay.
admit this, you would go in spurts. You would be the better team for 15 minutes. I remember you would score most
Right,
of
but
your
Stefan,
goals.
so you expect full 90-minute domination from teams. That's what you're because what you're basically saying is we're not dominating the whole game. So in what world, in the best league in the world, are you expecting Tottenham to be going out dominating for 90 minutes against anybody? Even Luton could get 5 minutes against us because it's the Premier League. So why should we be dominating for 90 minutes? Why would I even think my team should be doing that?
Yes, of course you cannot be completely dominant in their own half for 90 minutes. But when you're not dominant, my problem is like against Leicester away, Leicester, when you got, you got a bit shell shocked after they equalized, Leicester could have easily scored a second goal. If Leicester, let's be honest, if it wasn't for the Bentancur injury, Leicester were completely on top of that game.
Right, but
They
Stefan,
were.
but Stefan, my problem is that you're very unfair with your criticism because let me just give you a good example. So you said in the Brentford game, that we gave up great chances to Brentford to equalize. Okay, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Now I will counter that with in the Spurs Leicester game before Leicester went 1-1. Spurs had 2 chances in Solanke and Bentancur. Hold on, which were better than the Brentford chances that we gave up that you said were great chances. But you don't say that Spurs gave up amazing chances to score the second goal and be out of sight. You criticize us and say that we were poor and Leicester was this and that. But the chances that we gave up to Brentford were inferior chances to those chances, but you still call them very good chances. I'd like you to understand and see why it's difficult for me when you're being a little hypocritical there, because you are using those kind of chances to support your argument versus Brentford, and you're not allowing Tottenham to have those chances that they gave up versus Newcastle, versus Leicester in the same context.
Okay, Jay. I agree with. I even said that you deserve to win the game against Brentford. I said that before, but what I'm saying is that every game almost feels like it could be a shootout in which you will always concede 2 or 3 really, really, really good chances to another team. You say you had good chances. You did. You could have easily scored. But Brentford could have, and it was 2-1 at that point. And the Brentford chance, the point blank header, which was a really good fingertip save from Vicario, that would have made it 2-2. Could you have won the game based on the state of the game and the way it was headed? Of course. But what I'm saying is that you cannot win a league title playing shootouts a lot of. You just can't. You cannot outscore the opponent consistently because Liverpool, and I'll give one example, who have far better forwards than you. Last year, Liverpool were exactly like they were a better version of Spurs last year with, of course, a better defense because they have Van Dijk. But their attackers would get them out of jail in the first half of the season. They would concede chances, but their attackers were by far the most clinical. However, once January hit and February hit, and some of their attackers, especially Mohamed Salah, went out of form, Liverpool dropped significantly because they kept conceding chances and their attackers weren't in good form and they weren't clinical. So they weren't taking advantage of that. And that's what I think Spurs is in a way. What you do is you're similar to Liverpool, but you just don't have as good of attackers. And for me, you're never going to win this way. And just the final thing, just to clarify my point, Ange even said it at the Spurs forum. When they asked him about, what was it? I think it was about, was it at a press conference? I think he said something along the lines, when they asked him about defensively and keeping clean sheets, he said, I don't really care. No, I don't really care. He focused on attacking and said, my point is that we have to score more goals than the opposition. With that mindset, Jay, you're never winning anything with this.
My things to you in rebuttal to that, Stefan, is we're, a season and 8 games, maybe 9 games into what Andrew's trying to do. So to me, I'm looking at what we're trying to do here and be like, okay, I'm seeing better performances. Like you say, we still give up good chances. Like you say, we don't control the game for 90 minutes. But we are starting to control games for longer and deeper against good teams. So now I've seen us against a number of teams now, and I've seen us control games. Yeah, that doesn't mean teams aren't able to break on us and transition and create opportunities.
So how are you controlling games if teams can still do that? If teams can still do that,
what do you mean? You can control a game and get countered. Like that's why it's called against the run of play. We wouldn't have the term against the run of play if there wasn't a run of play that was occurring in order for it to be against it. Yeah. So of course that can happen. So from my point of view, I don't mind if you criticize Spurs. I'm a fan. You can be a critic. Don't bother me as long as it's fair. And to me, like if you're gonna criticize is what Andrew's trying to do and everything like that, Spurs are just they've got their vision of what they're trying to implement. Give them time to see us against good teams. So far this season, I've seen us play, Newcastle. I've seen us play Arsenal. I've seen us play United. I've seen us play Brentford. Across those game performances, I think Spurs have played pretty well. How many goals have Spurs conceded?
You conceded 2 against Newcastle.
How many have we conceded, Ash? How many have we conceded this season?
The same amount as Arsenal.
Same amount as Arsenal, yeah? So we've conceded the same amount of goals as you, and we play a much more offensive style, yeah? So when you want to talk about defending and things like that, Stefan, are you saying that we're broadly defending badly? Are you saying Spurs are switching?
Yes, you are.
You think we're defending badly? Okay.
Yes.
Why do you think that, Stefan?
You've played 2 of the teams that you have played, Everton and Leicester, are fucking shit. Man United are really shit, and you played against them with 10 men, so that helped in terms of defending. And even then, you still conceded chances.
How many goals did Leicester score against you?
Oh my! They scored 2 goals from one shot on target.
How many goals did Leicester score against Spurs?
They scored 1.
Okay, so despite Spurs playing a more offensive style than you, you conceded more goals to Leicester. Now, obviously, to me, I'm not going to be so simplistic as to say that's linear. But why are Spurs defend? So, what metric tells you that Spurs are defending badly and you're defending well this season? I've never heard you say that Arsenal are defending badly this season. So, I'm just trying to understand. Just trying to understand. Are you putting it down to team quality? Are you putting it down to other metrics?
I'm watching the game, and I can see if you lose the ball, your system with leaving 2 center backs at the back is suicidal against teams away from home, Karabakh or whatever. Even Leicester opened you up. Arsenal. You talk about the 2 goals that Leicester scored. They scored 2 goals from one shot on target. The other one was a freak volley, which James Justin isn't going to score from another 100 like attempts. It was a ridiculous, really good goal.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was all their against you guys. They didn't create one. Their XG at the end of the game, if you want to talk stats with Leicester, was 0.2. Their XG against you, that you say, we can concede, was higher than your XG. They were 1.3. So you still could. My problem is although you don't concede the amount of shots or per se, you still concede big chances.
Okay, you know what? When Ash comes back, Ash, I know I can see you backstage. If you want to get the expected goals against, for both teams, that would be interesting for me to see, because I understand what Stefan's saying, but you ignore, say, Villa, for example, who scored no goals and underperformed their XG in their game against you. So it swings and roundabouts and it averages out across the season. I'm just saying to you, that I'm trying to understand that Spurs, to me, are defending pretty well this season. Definitely not badly. We're definitely not. And if you're going to say we're defending badly, against what metric? Because versus other teams in the Premier League, we are not defending badly. If you want to isolate Spurs and say we're definitely not defending badly compared to other teams in the Premier League, you can't say that we are. There's no evidence.
It's not about defending badly. We have seen this last year. It was the same. He hasn't
defended
changed.
worse last year than we're defending now.
The reason why, you know what? I'm not critical of Ange. I don't find him whatsoever threatening to Arsenal. I hope you give him a 10-year contract because I don't rate him. But the same things that you guys did last year, the same obvious mistakes, glaring, the high line, both fullbacks inverted. You do this. It's the same stuff. Don't tell me that he changed it because
he has changed it. He has changed it
because Udogie played a little bit more left back, for fuck's sake, in one game. Let's see
in 2 games. So in the last 2 games, Udogie's played as a proper left back. Ash, would you like to support that view?
No, he didn't. Against Man United, he kept inverting. That's not true.
No, he didn't.
I'm trying to get it out. Say that question again. Sorry.
I'm trying to tell Stef that Udogie played as essentially a traditional left back in the last 2 games for Spurs. He's not inverting.
He does invert, but he doesn't stay. He doesn't live there, so he will switch from inversion, and then he will occasionally play left back. So he doesn't. And then I think it's like a role reverse. So Porro will play in the midfield. Then Doggy goes left back, and then vice versa.
Duran 1-0,
They swap around. But essentially, you're seeing a Doggy play a little bit behind whoever's playing in front of him at the moment. In the last 2 games, that is. The last 2 games.
Look. Final thing is, all I'm going to say is I want to see you guys play a good team away from home now. You've played Arsenal. You've lost.
Played Newcastle. You see us play a good team away.
And you have lost against Newcastle. Now let's see. So you had 2 of your biggest tests. You have lost in exactly the same way you lost games last year. Counterattacks and set pieces. Let's see now against Brighton, because last season Brighton could have scored 7 against you guys. They broke. All right. I think they had to fix and change their post after that game, because I remember they hit the post like 3 or 4 times.
That's fine, but Brighton don't have the same manager. They're missing certain players that played in that game. So
who are they missing? Who are they missing?
Gross ain't there anymore. Gilmore ain't there anymore. So
Baleba's better than Gilmore. Come on.
Listen, my thing is very simply, right, and this is a nice transition to the Brighton point. You rate Brighton, but you don't rate Tottenham. That's silly. Yeah, they play a similar style to us, but inferior. They're tactically not as good as us. We are tactically better than Brighton. We set up better than Brighton. Yeah. So,
okay, Jay,
my point is, how you rate Brighton so highly, but not Tottenham?
No, I don't rate Brighton as high.
Yes, you do.
Just know
yes, you do. You're constantly raving about Brighton. You even tried to argue with me about how much better Brighton are. Like, I'm just trying to understand.
Your away record, Jay, is horrendous. Right. The Man United win away from home, apart from Man United, Coventry, Villa, and I think Forest from last season, those are your big away wins from 2024, from like 17 or 8. That's 4 wins in 17. Okay. I want to see you, because last season Brighton completely destroyed you. So let's see this season. You
Bro,
talk as if
like,
you're
what
so much better than
a
Brighton.
different manager with a different tactical setup beat us. I would be amazed, yeah, if because what De Zerbi did to us was a tactical. He nailed us. This manager is not De Zerbi. This manager is not as good as De Zerbi. Let's be honest, yeah. And I'm not sure this manager has within himself the tactical makeup to
Okay.
counter us and set up how De
So
Zerbi
he
set up
can't.
to
So
beat
wait,
us
wait.
up. So
So he doesn't have scouts to see
it's
Spurs
not about
push up.
having scouts. It's De Zerbi's a better manager than him. He can't tactic. I don't know the guy well enough. Maybe he's going to do a masterclass this weekend. But I'm saying De Zerbi tactically did a masterclass on us last time we played Brighton. He set up in a way that really killed us. Now I'm not saying this manager isn't capable of doing the same thing, but I know from what I've seen so far, he's tactically not on the same level as De
Wait,
Zerbi.
wait,
Yeah.
wait. Can I just address Philly delis, bro? Philly, when you call Wenger a specialist in failure, dude, Wenger has more Premier League titles than your fucking club, man. What are you talking? This is what I mean from your
Stay
fan base.
focused. Stay focused, Stefan.
Like
Stay
it's
focused.
like they have no like awareness of anything. But okay, going back to your point. Okay, but here's the thing. When I look at Brighton, Jay, the
Yeah.
issue I have is that Brighton have one thing that you're really weak on,
Go
and
on.
that they have speed on transitions. Their wingers are rapid.
Okay.
And last time I watched Poro play against, what was his name? The Japanese guy. I forgot his name.
Matoma.
Yeah, Mitoma tore him up.
Yeah.
There should have been a call for emergency care after that game
Yeah.
because Mitoma absolutely destroyed Poro,
Cool. That's
both
fine.
home, both at your ground and away.
You did.
So I'm intrigued to see, and that's why Jay, you can prove me wrong. You can say, "See, Stefan, fuck you. You were wrong."
Yeah.
Let's see the Brighton game because last season Brighton they destroyed you at home, and your away record is still not
Absolutely,
good.
but they did.
Your away, and let's see if you have developed because
That's no problem, Stefan. I have no issue with you laying it out like that. That's fair to me. I'm gonna counter that with the fact of I've seen Brighton against United. I've seen Brighton against Chelsea. I think they're a false image. I know the underlines look good, so I'm gonna respect them. But on the flip side, like if they want to try and pass the ball around at the back against the best pressing team in the league. And that's not me trying to big up Spurs. It's honestly not. I'm not trying to big Spurs up. I'm saying we are the best pressing side in the league. That's a statement of fact. So if you're loose with the ball, like the way they played the ball against Chelsea, if they try that against us, they're gonna be turning the ball over. Yeah, whether we punish them, but I'm saying they're gonna be coughing the ball up to us. So my thing is that when I've watched us play against teams that actually want to come out and play, yeah, come out and play against us, and we're cutting you up. So my point is, Newcastle played low block, Arsenal played low block, yeah. Hey, if Brighton play a low block, that's going to be a shock to me. So to me, they're coming out to play.
Have you ever thought that those teams don't want to play a basketball match?
Absolutely, but Brighton are going to come and play basketball with us, and that's fine because we will beat them at basketball. That's my point.
Okay, I mean,
So,
let's
where do you
see.
guys think who finishes who? Where do you think, Stefan, that Brighton finish above Spurs?
Brighton is my dark horse for top four. So yes,
And you think that Brighton also beat Spurs on the weekend?
yes, I think Spurs get a. It reminds me a lot of this type of kind of this vibe that I'm getting from Spurs and just everything. Reminds me of when you beat Villa 4-0, and then I think you went away to Fulham the next week and got the, destroyed there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the same feeling. But let's see. I mean, you have done better at the away grounds at the matches that you lost last year, but you still lost those games. And yeah, you have lost better, as Jay says. But just because teams give you the ball and let you have it doesn't mean that you're good. They know you're not effective. Like
Do you
Arsenal,
think, do
you
you think
did
this younger
nothing.
manager? Sorry to cut you. Do you think this younger manager will out tactically
I
masterclass?
I was yeah. I'm of a different opinion to Jay on this young manager because I watched him against Arsenal and I was far more impressed with him than the
In the Tottenham game?
the Zerbi, because the Zerbi played only one way and he played with a high against Chelsea. I don't know what happened. I mean, Lewis Dunk was was Chelsea's best player in that game. He is horrendous, but I watched him against Arsenal, and he changed things 3 times during the game. He changed the midfield. He changed the way that they played with a much deeper block at first against Arsenal. Was it because Arsenal were really good in the first half? Maybe, but I can see a change. Whilst with De Zerbi, I remember when he came to the Emirates and when we played them at their ground, and he played in exactly the same way. So for me, this coach, because he's young, it doesn't mean that he doesn't see things and he doesn't adapt. I actually think from what I've seen and the way Brighton play, I mean, barring the actual Chelsea game, I've still been really, really.
Nah, for the false image to me, decent side, but the setup is immature. Like they play immaturely. They had a lot more of a mature structure under De Zerbi. They've just not, to me, against Arsenal even. I thought like the first half you absolutely battered them.
No, yeah, we should have
Yeah,
won.
you should have. You were smoking them, and it was like I looked at them against Chelsea. They were smoking them. I'm like, they're playing good teams with good tactical setups, and they're getting smoked.
No, with Chelsea.
So what am I seeing that I need to be rated?
No, with Chelsea, he was completely. I don't know what he did there. The thing that Chelsea can do is they can run. All of their players are good athletes. So you playing with an almost Ange-like defensive line, I did not. Maybe he thought, let me try and pressure their defense because their defense is terrible. They make a lot of mistakes, Chelsea, from playing out the back. But I don't know. Like, let's see. I'm really intrigued to see what happens between
Fair enough.
Brighton and Spurs.
Fair enough. Not too.
The
ridiculous.
shit's chess, it ain't checkers.
Yeah, I just want to bring in. Obviously, I've got Dan here. He's a Chelsea man, and they played Brighton on the weekend. How do you rate Brighton? Because the conversation at the moment is we play Brighton on the weekends, and Stefan thinks that Brighton are going to do us over, basically. So, Dan, what's your thoughts on Brighton and how you played against them? What are their weaknesses, etc.? Can you hear me? Dan, can you hear me? No, I don't think you can hear me. Gokes, I'm going to bring you in. What's going on?
Hello, gentlemen. How's things? Stefan, Jay, Dan,
What's up, though?
Missy, Ash. Come
All
on.
good, all good. So the topic at the moment, we're talking about
Liverpool winning the champ. Okay, what?
Let's start like that.
Hold on. He's excited. Does that mean that Liverpool have beaten another average to mediocre side? That's what it must mean.
I mean,
that's what it means.
And wait, and that average mediocre side in the first half had them on the ropes for a period
am I
of
allowed to
time.
speak? If a Champions League team is an average team, what does it say about teams that are not in the Champions League?
Oh,
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, the classic. You can't even get in. Why are you moaning?
Exactly. Hate it from the outside the club. Exactly.
Yeah, but we were talking about Brighton versus Spurs, and obviously we're playing them on the weekend. Chelsea played Brighton, and we were just trying to decide whether Ange could get the job done, or if we will lose when we're playing Brighton, and will Brighton finish above Spurs? Are they pound for pound a better team than Spurs? Do they have a better coach than Spurs?
Wow.
Spurs? Like, just complete dunk.
Damn, better coach is a lot. Come on, man. The guy that just done his GCSEs.
Bro, this 30-year-old
That's a lot.
baby. Oh, imagine, bro.
That's a lot. I don't know about better coach. That's strong. Better team. I'd say a better team. Is João Pedro fit yet?
no, he's gonna be out for a long
Villa
time.
did it. Villa did it. Credit. Oh, Emery.
Okay,
Emery again beating
Emery.
Bayern. Like last season, Stefan.
Duran, Come on.
Duran's got a worldie apparently, a chip.
Yeah, it's a good finish.
Jeez.
I haven't seen it yet.
Guys, Benfica are beating Atletico 4-0.
Jeez.
Wow.
Oh, we.
What's Conor Gallagher?
Conor Gallagher effect.
Yeah, but go on, Gogs. Talk to me. You're saying now.
No, I think Brighton's gonna take it, but it's all good. I think Ange's got some. You've won 4 games in a row, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Ange's got some credit in the bank with you guys.
Go some big heavyweights they've beaten. Karabag and Coventry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But still, 4 games in a row. Also beat United.
That's
Let's
true.
not do that. Let's not do that. United are somebody.
Oh, talking about United. Yobs, do you hear me? No, he's not there. Let me go to Dan quick. Obviously, what do you think of the whole? Obviously, you not played them. You played them on the weekend.
Yeah.
And Brighton Oven, they never came up against like a top 4, top 6 team. What do you make of it? Do you think Brighton would do Spurs on the weekend, or what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I actually think they've looked all right this season until they played Chelsea. And the Chelsea game really reminds me of the Chelsea-Tottenham game we had last year when you were unbeaten. And then we obviously played you, and Ange played that high line even when you had men sent off, and it was just almost a bit sacrificial. The Brighton manager did that from the start with them as well. And if it wasn't for 2 mistakes, I'm not sure we would have conceded. And we just kept playing the ball over the top or on the floor and behind, and it caused a real issue for Brighton. So I actually think if he sets up like that against you, it could be a really exciting game. But from the footage I saw against Man United and against Arsenal, they didn't set up like that at all. So I was actually really surprised. So I don't know if it was a bit of naivety from like a young coach who didn't really know what to expect of a Chelsea, but I don't think he did his homework, to be honest with you.
Dan, I actually thought he tried to use that tactic to pressure your 2 center backs, because your 2 center backs like to give it away a lot. And I thought he thought that if he could keep you boxed in, you would screw up.
I think you're right. I think you're exactly right in why he thought that would be the right tactic to use. But Wolves tried to implement something similar as well. Ange obviously did something similar last season. I genuinely believe in transition, Chelsea are one of the best teams in the Prem. That's why we scored so many goals this season. I just think it was really naive to expect that our centre-backs would give the ball away when ultimately the keeper did. But the centre-backs were reasonably okay in terms of their ball retention in that game. And actually, Levi Colwell was one of the players that opened up their defensive line at times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just think he got it wrong. And it wasn't for... It was for quite a long period of time that he sort of persisted with that tactic. And by that point, I think there was probably 7 Chelsea goals in total, but 3 ruled out for offside.
Eric, man. I heard, Chinks, obviously you were in the background disagreeing with a lot what Jay was saying, man. What's your thoughts, man? What do you want to get off your chest?
Can I be seen on my camera?
Yeah, we can see you, motherfucker. What's up?
Oh, nice. Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's having a pleasant evening and stuff. Everything's going well. So, no, I just like some things you were saying weren't consistent about you only Man City have ever played the style you're playing before.
No, I didn't say that only they played it. I said only them. They played it to success. We're not the only team to do this. That City, the only team to play in a super offensive style. And
Arsenal played when they were the Invincibles and stuff. Arsenal had 7.
But that's 20 years ago and stuff. I didn't, you know.
So you're referring to your style of play and you're relating it to City who have succeeded with it. But then
now you're trying to create a narrative that I didn't say. What I said was in what Spurs are attempting to do, only City have done it. And it still took City over a year with infinite budget, potentially cheating, and the best manager of all time. So who am I to expect Tottenham to be at a similar level after 1 year when we don't have the best manager of all time, when we don't have an infinite budget, and we also are Spurs? So, taking all of that into account.
So why do you speak so highly of yourselves then?
I speak highly of ourselves, or is defending myself, now speaking highly? Me not acknowledging that I'm shit on the bottom of your shoe is not me trying to say that we're fucking Real Madrid. Do you see what I mean?
No, but that you was having a debate with an Arsenal fan about who's playing better, and that just is nonsensical.
No, what was the debate I was actually saying?
Because you had the audacity to say we've conceded the same amount of goals as you, our opposition has been even there similar.
It's not audacity of me to say a statement of facts just because your team's conceded the same amount of goals as mine.
Yeah, but in the context of the conversation,
Wait, but we can also use the precedent that last season you conceded over 60 goals, while Arsenal had.
No, you're not allowed to do that, Steph. You're not allowed to
Yeah,
go.
true.
You're not allowed to go to the bigger sample
No,
size.
because
You
this
can
is
only
the
go to
point.
the miniature one, which makes them
This
look
is the
very
point,
good right
Stefan.
now.
Because the small amount of data that you've got this season that makes Spurs look not disgusted, you don't like that data. So you want to go
We
back to
don't
last season
care.
where the data made us look a much worse side, and you want to use that data.
That's
I
not
hear
what
it,
he wants.
I get it.
No, hold on, Steph. That's not what he wants to do. He just wants to swiftly remind you that remember last season, 10 games in, you were speaking this highly, and then what happened? What
Also,
happened
but,
after you fell off? Wait, let me finish the point, please, because
no,
this is
but
the second
the
time.
point is
This is
you're
the
making
second
points
time
that
you're
you
cutting me
can't
off,
make.
and I haven't cut you off yet.
Yeah, but we're not. You're like, go on, mate. But
Like
you
you make it because
man's
I
narrative.
smoke weed, so I forget my
You're
points
creating
when
an
I'm
argument
knocked
that
off my
doesn't
pivot.
exist
Do you know what
to
I
knock
mean?
it down. But go on.
I'm lost in what you're saying now. I don't even remember what I was saying.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Yo, hello everyone.
You're right, Yoms. How you doing, man? How you feeling? You know,
Not too good, but
it's a bit rough.
the pod's always gonna make me feel better, innit? Love.
Yum, it's okay. It's okay. You're in. It's in his third year. You're in transition still. You've signed young players. You have to give them time to develop under Ten Hag. It's okay. Just don't.
Stefan, didn't you send a message saying you have to go?
Who? I
You
did.
was that? Oh, okay, sorry. I just thought I'd remind you.
Oh, goodbye, my friend.
Yeah, guys.
Of what?
I don't know do that, Stefan. Oh, hey, you go when you want to go, bro. You go on your terms.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like any sort of banter that I can get from a Man United fan, I can't take seriously right now. They have a PE teacher as their coach currently, so for me, it's not something that I can.
Agreed.
Yeah. And by the way, guys, Yums was the biggest defender of Ten Hag like 2 or 3 months ago. He was like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go. Thanks.
Peace, Stefan. Peace.
Thanks for the invite, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, man. So obviously, yeah, let's talk about Man United real quick, man. We're here now, so might as well just jump onto that. Pause. But yeah, what was your thoughts, Jones? Starting with you, man. Old Trafford.
Shocking.
What was he going in? What was your prediction? You saw the lineups, obviously. You saw the starting 11s.
I mean, you're always happy when you don't see Son on a team sheet, and you always think, all right, we that's going to be a good thing. But I don't even think that Tottenham had to get out of second gear. That's how bad it is at the moment. It's the players are not motivated to play, and you can blame the players because you have to take responsibility to a certain degree and motivate yourself as a player who's on 100, 150, 200, 300 grand a week. But at the same time, a manager has to be able to motivate his players, and if he's not able to do that, then it's just time for a change. It's really as simple as that. So yeah, to answer your question, going into the game, Spurs at home, we were both on the same amount of points at the time. Both not had great starts to the season. I think United have been unlucky in previous games, but the one
You were
that
saying about the injuries last season was the reason why.
last season there was a lot of injuries. But we still managed to salvage the season with a cup and a couple of big performances. This season, I've always said if you're gonna in the first 10 games, this man's gonna be judged. We've only got 4 injuries now, so there's no hiding places for him. So yeah, like the Palace game is the one that really shocked me. I actually think the Palace performance was worse than the Spurs performance, especially in the second half of that Palace performance. I thought it was terrible, and I was worried from then. If I'm honest with you, very worried.
Chances to win that game, though. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The
To win
Palace,
the Palace game,
I'm talking about the same Palace game. Palace game, you were
Bruno
you had so
Fernandes,
many chances.
Nacho.
No. You man are watching. You man are thinking about the first 15 minutes, bro. After the first 15, 20 minutes of that Palace game, we came out in the second half like we didn't need to win the game. And that's how we played the whole of the Spurs game. So it's almost like as if we've just played 3 halves of football like we don't need to win the game. So it's just shocking. It's shocking all around. The Palace game concerned me because when we was on top, we couldn't score. and then we allowed Palace back into the game. And if you watch the second half, Palace had a lot more chances than United did in the second half. So yeah, just shocking behaviour. But a change has to be made.
Then I'll go, yeah?
He has to go cut. I mean,
Oh, wait. Nothing to do with the board no more. The board, because I remember at one point it was the board, then it was, Ten Hag, or I didn't know which one it was. So now you've got the board, the structure's in place. It's definitely nothing to do with the board now, because they're the one who employed them.
Listen. The board have been in the whole of 5 minutes. We can't be asking for a board switch. They've been in the whole of 5 minutes. They've brought in some decent young players. Ten Hag cannot motivate players, and he doesn't have the tactical ability to get players fired up and to win, to get games over the line, even when we are playing well. So Ten Hag has to go, as far as I'm concerned. And then there's a couple players that has to go as well, but that's going to take time. So yeah, it's nothing. The board, nobody can actually blame the board. The board have brought in the people who we want. They've changed the people in charge. They've backed the manager in the summer. They've got in a new transfer policy. They've brought in young players. All that stuff that we wanted. So we can't blame the board. It has to be the manager now.
Gokes, you disagree though. You said before that Ten Hag. Obviously you're a rival, but you sounded quite serious when you were saying Ten Hag needs more time. He needs to get his message to the players over. So, shed some light on that, man, on that thought process.
Yeah, I just can't take all the whining, to be honest with you. And in steps Toon sent from stage left, right on cue. So if they let him go, in summary, if they let him go, they should let him go in the summer. That's my only point. I don't care if they sack him or not. But they decided, after their search and so on and so forth, and they weighed everything up, they decided to keep him. So my only point is that it's only been 6 games. Yes, you should have won the Crystal Palace game. You lost the Tottenham game, but you were down to 10 men, but you were losing anyway, but you were still down to 10 men. I think that's a strong mitigation. It's not too often you win with 10 men, unless you're Liverpool playing Newcastle. But it's not often that happens. So
it's the performance, though. It's not the result. It's the performance. Everyone says we should have beat Palace. We shouldn't have beat Palace. If you watch the Palace game, we should not have beat Palace. We had 2 chances, 3 chances in the first 15 minutes. After that, we created nothing, and in the second half, Palace had just as many chances. They hit the crossbar late on as well.
Mm-hmm. So did you?
Yeah, he did.
Not late on. That was early on in the game. That was all first half. Forget the first half. Forget the first half.
Let me just say this here. My only point is, if they've given him the job, you can't give someone the job and then after 6 games, some of which he's won, some of which he hasn't, then say, I want to sack him. I personally believe, and it's not really my business, but from the outside looking in, the man deserves to get until Christmas. That's my only point, because at the end of the day, it's kind of like you go to work. I like to put things into real context, right? You go to work and they say, we're giving you a warning because you did something. They can't then next day say, right, we're going to sack you now. Like, all right, that's a clean slate. That all of that stuff happened, and it's true. You came 8th and all of that stuff. All of that's happened. In the summer, you had a decision to make. It's now a clean slate to a certain degree. You can't sack him after 6 days, after 6 games.
If you go to work and you get put on a PIP, right? You get put on a performance improvement plan because you've not been performing at work, right? Mm-hmm. Say you've been coming in late to work you've been arriving at work at 11:10. You're supposed to start at 9. Yeah. The next day after getting that PIP, you're coming at 11:10. What do you think's going to happen?
That's a perfect example.
You're going to be sacked.
No, you won't. If you're placed on a PIP, performance review, they're going to say, we're going to review this in a month's time and see what. This is your warning. This is your final written warning. And this is my point. This is your warning. Now, in a month's time, we're going to review that and see if your performance is improved. They're not going to say the next day after giving you a PIP, oh, you're late today, you're sacked. They won't do that, and that's what you're doing.
If you've been late every day for the last 6 months, and then they put you on a PIP the next day nothing changes. You don't come in at 9 the next day. You're getting sacked, bro.
No,
There
you
is
won't.
like
Nah, but
you're getting sacked.
You won't.
If that
being
can,
ungrateful, Yoms.
and
You're being ungrateful, man.
if that behaviour continues, I'm sorry, but we say some of which he's won. How many games have United won this year?
Nah, bro, it's about trophies, bro.
Yeah,
Don't worry about that, bro.
thank you, Jay. That's what
That's what I'm trying. This is what I'm trying to say. Because
Tell him
no,
again, Jay.
I'm not doing this for you, Chinks. I'm doing it for me. Because when we weren't winning no
still with you.
trophies,
I'm
when
still
I
with
was
you.
enjoying the journey, you were part of the crowd saying you don't win shit. Yeah,
No, I
then
weren't.
you
Don't lie.
started
Don't
not
lie.
winning stuff,
Don't
being
lie.
part of the same journey.
Don't lie. You didn't even
Now
know
you're
me
like,
then,
yeah,
Jay.
mate, yeah.
False accusations. Accusations. You didn't even know me then, man.
But this is the thing, Yobs. You're a top side. You win trophies. That's what you do at Man
He
United.
has won. He has won trophies.
And hold
No,
on, Jay.
no
He has won
matter
trophies.
what.
I don't
That's
get-
the
I
most
don't get what your
important
point.
thing, my friend.
What's your
Winning
point?
trophies.
We're not winning
That's
games.
what I've always
Can
been
you
told.
win trophies without
Winning
winning
trophies.
games?
So
It's
enjoy
only been
your
6
medicine.
games. It's only been
Can
6
be
games.
shit
Can you win
this
trophies? Can you win trophies without winning games?
No, but hold on,
I
Yoms.
don't even get what your
Yoms,
point. What is your
give me a
actual
second.
point?
Oh, you know what my point is. You
let me,
finished 8th, but
What
you
you talking about,
hold
Wills?
the FA Cup. You know what that means. You know
Sorry,
what
say
that
that
means.
again because I was hearing Willis. Say that
I was
again.
saying that you know that looks like I share a picture when I was a child that looked a lot like that, you know. But yeah. So anyway, my point is merely you are the holders of the FA Cup and you finished 8th last season. So you
What is
know
your
what I
point?
mean. You don't have to win games to be a trophy winner.
You don't have to win games to be a trophy winner.
Don't be
Not
bringing
all the games,
semantics around here.
Not all
You
the
know what I
games,
mean,
Yoms.
Yom.
Be
So-
serious.
Put your glasses
hold
on
on.
and you're rubbing your chin,
So
and
hold
you
on.
know what I
Hold on,
fucking
Jay.
mean.
What is your actual point, though? I
Bro,
don't
my
get it.
point is that you won trophies and you chose to keep the manager that won trophies. So the thing is that you are trophy winner. You are the current holders of the FA Cup. So you can't disregard that when talking about not winning games because you won enough games.
So if you
to
don't
be the
see,
current FA
so
Cup
because you've won a trophy, if you don't see progression in your style of play,
yeah,
and you don't see progression in results, and you don't see progression in the performance, that means because you won a trophy in last year, you must stick with the manager.
Is that what I said?
Finally, you
That's
finally
what I said?
understand.
That's
You
the biggest piece of nonsense I've ever heard.
Is that
Hold on.
are you hearing voices in your head? Is that what I just said? No.
So
But you're
that's
saying,
why I asked,
but
what
that's
is your
what I'm
point there?
saying.
What is your
Let me
actual point?
Can I make my point?
Like,
Can
can
I make
somebody
my
tell
point?
me this guy's point? Because
this
maybe
guy's
No,
not
I'm
serious.
gonna let me
maybe somebody
elaborate
else
on
knows
it.
it better.
Why
Let
is
me
Ten Hag
elaborate
still
on
got a
it.
job?
Why has Ten Hag still got a job?
Yeah.
Because
No, I'm not
the
talking.
board
I'm not
came
talking
in-
about. I'm not talking about
the board
sacking him
came
after
in
Tottenham. I mean,
because-
why did he have a job coming into this season?
because the board came in and
Yeah.
understood that there were certain barriers that he had to face, and there were certain things that were not put in place for him to win. They
Okay.
have put those things in place, and they haven't seen a change, not necessarily in the results, but they've not seen a change in the performance. They've not seen a change in the level of aggression from the players.
Mhm.
That is the point with Ten Hag. It's
Right.
not. It's we've been here before in terms of a poor start to a season. The worry for United fans is that the players don't look like they want to get out of bed in the morning. And if you're 7 games in
Mhm.
and you're getting waxed lyrical to the point where seasoned professionals like Ericsson is coming on interviews saying Palace
This
wanted
guy's
it
got a
more than us.
pacemaker, bro. You can't listen to my man. He just doesn't want to run.
Iron Man, yeah.
Big man,
Sorry.
big man. He said Palace wanted it more than us. If Palace want to win a game more than Manchester United, the manager has to go. It's literally as simple as that.
Bro,
I don't.
why?
What is hard to understand about that? Like, Toon, please, you're a level headed.
That's what I wanna
Like,
ask
can you
you.
tell me what on earth I'm not getting, bro?
About this one.
Why do you think on a given Sunday Palace don't want it more than you anyway? Palace have wanted it more than you for the last 6
Hey,
years.
let's hear two.
Why are you surprised now?
I want to hear two. Go on, two. Go on.
Man, I feel the pressure now. I got to say something smart and intelligent and wisdom, man. I think it's a bit of a lot of what I think. I agree so much of what Yoms is saying, but also what Jay is saying. I think what Yoms is saying, and it's still correct. You can win cup competitions, but ultimately, your Premier League form says where you are as a club, what your status are. And Man United is eighth. They are an eighth-place team. That's as good as they are at the moment as a team.
13th, bro. 13th.
Oh, excuse me. I was thinking of last year. But I don't know if Yoms would agree.
Nah, they've got worse, Toon. They've got
They've
worse.
got worse. I don't know if Yoms would agree, but like the squad, if you look at player for player, is better than 13th. They're better than 8th. So therefore, what is the problem? On Ep.10, and I end on this, on Ten Hag is, the problem for Ten Hag is what we didn't know before, was it the structure? Now the structure has been changed. People will say, well, it's more clear now that it's Ten Hag. I would argue, is 5 games enough to show that? Some will say yes, okay, fine. But then you also have players in the team that have played for Ten Hag, have won cup competitions for Ten Hag, and then there might be some players that don't. I think it comes down to a communication problem for him. I actually saw, I can't remember if it was you, Dan, or I think it was Nobbins talking about how the player profiles don't suit the style of play that he wants to have. So really a Declan Rice, I think Nobbins coming up with this, Declan Rice suits the style of play that Man United have, but you don't have a Declan Rice. You have a Kobe Mainu who's incredible in himself.
He's no longer Kobe. You've got to change his name. Well, carry on, sorry.
But Kobe is a more ball to feet type of guy. It doesn't eat up space. It doesn't eat up the ground type of thing. So therefore, you need that. So then you got an Agate. We're going to find out what Agate is made of. But I think this is a change for Man United. I think the only problem, I'll end it on this. You went to go to clubs like Bayern Munich and others to get your players, whereas I think you should have went to upcoming players from clubs, not from the elite teams like Bayern. Players that didn't make it at Bayern Munich and others. You should have went to players that are hungry and want to win.
For once, though, I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna disagree because with the players, I think we have got the profile of the style we want to play. The problem is Ten Hag doesn't know how to coach that. So if you look at the players that we've brought in, right? We've brought in some young players. We brought in the likes of Yoro, who is an up-and-coming defender, right?
Who is injured.
He's injured.
Was he injured when we brought it? Calm down, bruv. Like we're talking about the player profile of the squad that we have. Because the man's injured for 2 months, what does that mean? Like,
just to ask you, Yoms, what style of play do you think you're trying to play?
Exactly. This is the problem. The style of play that we want is not what Ten Hag is doing. We want that high line, high press, right? De Ligt made his career of high line, high press. We've got Lisandro Martinez, who made a career of high line, high press. Ten Hag made his career on high line, high press. Why he's not able to coach that in the Premier League? Sometimes, I truly do believe this, players or managers get to the Premier League and don't realize just how insane the pace of the game is. Some managers get it straight away. Some managers, it takes them longer to get it, and some managers never get it. And I just don't think Ten Hag is a manager that's going to get it.
Hold on, you mentioned. Let's say you talk about De Ligt, for example, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where I have a big bugbear. De Ligt's just got to the Premiership. Like, he's literally had how many games, okay? And in terms of his partnership with Martinez, how many games have they played together? I know it's an uncomfortable truth, right? But players need time to get accustomed to a particular style. Players need time to get acclimatized to a new country, a new environment. This is just the way it is. It's not the same for every
agree with
player.
you, but this guy was playing Harry Maguire.
I want to pick this up because I know you didn't say it, but Ian was saying, "Oh, Ugarte, he's no good. I'm looking at him. He does like give these people a chance." And unfortunately for you, you feel as though you've been in the mire for so long, you haven't got much time to give. But the truth of the matter is, people like De Ligt, people like Ugarte, they need time and they need to be able to play together. Now, all I'm saying is, I think that this grumbling has to stop until a milestone, which for me should be Christmas. Let the guys get to Christmas and then say, okay, we've given them all a fair shot.
Goats, you can't win the league. You can't win the league by Christmas, but you certainly can lose it, right?
You're not going to
You
win the
can't
league
win.
anyway.
You can't win. You can't win. You
You're
can't win. Let me finish. You man are so thirsty for blood, Jay. Calm down. Jesus Christ. Let a man finish. Let a man finish a sentence. You're so hot. You're
just in a good
starving, bro.
mood.
Go and eat something.
Bro, I'm
Listen,
eating, bro. What do you
listen,
mean? You need
listen.
to.
Anyway,
Bro, you're not
let me
yourself when you
finish
not
my
had a
point.
Snickers,
Ray,
bro.
let me
Moaning
finish
all
my
night,
point.
bro.
Let me
Come on,
finish my
sort
point.
it out.
Goats, I
Come
agree
on,
with you.
man. This ain't the
need.
Yoms monologues, bro. Other people want to tag in too, but in the
Oh
meantime,
no,
I'm
he's not stopping. He's
Let
not
this
stop,
man.
boy. He
Thing's
just
broken.
overtalks everybody.
My thing's
I'm
broken.
out here
already.
heckling. This guy thinks he's
Anyway.
special, you know.
Anyway, I agree with you, Goats. Players need time, but you can see in coaching and you can see in decision making, right? Ten Hag's decision making when we have certain players and at certain moments of the game, everybody, including the players on the pitch, are looking around like, what on earth is going on? And when that happens, you know it's just a matter of time for a manager. Like you said, De Ligt needs time. Martinez needs to build up the partnership. So why is he starting Harry Maguire? It makes no sense.
Phase. I want to ask you,
Yeah,
are United fans spoiled? Is the culture just a mess at United? Is it a thing where they need a bit of patience in and around and accept like who they are? You know what I'm saying? They're not the old Alex Ferguson Manchester United anymore. Do you know what I mean? Or do you think they have credence and they need better? They deserve better. They're Man United, damn it. You know what I'm saying? Where do you stand on this?
can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So like this is why I love this show, because when I come here, every week I learn stuff and I'm educated on things about like perception and how to view stuff, innit? So I like to look at it from like when you're arguing with a football fan and they can go, but you have never won the Champions League, and that defeats every argument you have in it. And that's something I didn't know before I started coming here, innit? Pause. So based on my newfound evidence and just research from being present with you guys, I just want to big up Man U for going down to 10 men the other day and fucking still going for it on the counter instead of keeping 10 people behind the ball.
He's not going to let
You
that
get what
go.
I'm saying?
How
Just
did you?
first of all,
How does
I
that
want
even
to
answer
big
the
up you
question?
guys. I want to big up you guys for keeping the neutral entertained, because that's what it's all about. That's all that matters. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, first of all, I just want to highlight that. I just want to highlight that.
He's been
And then,
waiting, you know. I've been
and then
waiting. Oh.
secondly, like, I argue till my face is blue trying to defend Arteta on this show all the time. I argue and argue, but every week someone go to me, but he ain't won nothing. He's a bottler. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And you know what? No matter what you say about Ten Hag, no one can say that to you. Do you get what I'm saying? So you got to take those two things and just fucking be grateful, bro. Because they can't speak to you how they be speaking to me. And I don't like when they speak to me like that. That's all I can say. Keep doing what you're doing,
man.
bro. At least you ain't us.
Hey, BB Dania. Hey, what? Is there expectations that like should there be expectations around like FaZe is saying, look, it's unfair, isn't it? You know, the criticism that Arsenal's getting. Man United are on the heat at the moment. The fans are giving it to them. What do you think is the right perception? Time? Like, do they need the same time that Arteta's got? You know what I mean? And same leeway? Some might say
You
that
can't
Arteta
put Arteta in the same breath as Ten Hag.
Do
He's
you know
not won
what? Do you know
nothing.
what? I think you can in a way. They've both spent similar amounts. Listen, they both spent similar amounts of money. They both finished 8th and won an FA Cup. So there's similarities there. So I don't know whether or not Manchester United are rushing into sacking Ten Hag when he's winning trophies. But what I do know is the style of football is drastically bad, and I don't think it suits the style of player they've recruited as well. So there's a bit of an issue there for me. I think in the summer, that was the time to sack him and say, look, you've won us trophies, but we don't feel you're a match for us with our new sort of way we're going to be heading as a club under new ownership or whatever it is, new direction, because it's not quite full ownership. But now they've extended his contract by a year, backed him again with more players that are not only signings for Manchester United, but obviously signings he's mentioned because of the links that he has to a couple of them. They're closely connected in terms of football careers. Like he's managed a couple of them before. I now feel they have no choice but to continue backing him. Otherwise, the signings where they've spent a lot of money make no sense.
Sorry, which one was the bad signings? Which one are the which ones are the bad signings that can't play a style of football? I
feel like the signings that Manchester United have made and Ten Hag's style of football right now that he's attempting to get Manchester United to play, they don't match up for me.
But I don't understand that statement because nobody can tell me that. The reason I don't understand
this is what you're dealing with tonight. This guy
I'm just asking a question.
English. He doesn't understand anything tonight.
I don't understand the style of, because nobody understands the style of play that Ten Hag is trying to play.
It's obviously a form of counter-attacking football because there'll be times when you sit in and look to hit teams on the break.
Au contraire, my friend. Au contraire. That's what he's going to say right now.
No, what I'm going to say is I'm glad that
you're not dominating possession in every game that you're looking to play.
I'm glad that you can see.
Even Ten Hag at Ajax didn't dominate.
In terms of the signings, this is more of a question. So you had Højlund leading the line most of last season, and then he goes and buys Xerxes, who is clearly not an out-and-out number 9. He looks to be very good at link-up play, but you already have Bruno sitting in there. So clearly, in terms of the style he wants to play, if it is even counter-attacking, you need a number 9, right? That's what it seems the style's been crying out for. Xerxes, I don't see how Xerxes fits in that. And if you take into consideration that the season before, when you were getting loans, you had people like Weghorst, who's nothing like Xerxes, and you had people like Zabitzer, who's nothing like any of the players that he's recently bought. I would say those are the signings that you kind of look at and you think, well, I don't see that you're buying players in the same type of mold for a specific style of play. This is, if I was to not to talk for you, Dan, but these are some of the examples I would give.
Yeah, Mason Mount's another one that jumps straight to my mind because Mason Mount absolutely does not fit the style of play that Ten Hag's asking him to, especially when he's been deployed in a double pivot. He never even played that well at
are we
Chelsea.
saying that United want to play counter-attacking football?
Are we saying your scouts misprofile players? Because I just want to make one little point, because when Chelsea first got their new board in and they bought Koulibaly and they bought Sterling, and people thought those guys were going to bang. But they didn't bang because they just bought random good players with no aptitude as to where these guys are going to play. And I'm looking at your team, and you guys can praise the Ineos and everything else, but they've come in now and they bought De Ligt, they bought Mazraoui, they bought Ugarte, and I promise you, within 2 years, you're going to replace at least 50% of those guys. Yeah? So I'm like, what are we trying to do here, Yoms? Because you can blame Ten Hag all you want, but on the flip side, if you're buying him players that aren't fit for his system, whether you think he's got one or not, why is that Ten Hag's fault and not Ineos' fault?
Before you go, Yoms, quickly, I just want to say that...
add some more on time.
I just want to say Dan's not been there that much, and for you to take that unnecessary shot at Chelsea and make all of that was completely not called for. I apologise for that.
What was the Chelsea shot?
Something about Koulibaly and all of that.
I wasn't taking the shot.
I do kind of agree. Jay's on the right line in terms of Manchester United recruiting players with a name, like maybe like De Ligt and players like that who are coming in that are probably players that they can get their hands on rather than players that definitely fit a style of play. Maybe Ten Hag's not been strong enough in his meetings with the board to suggest the style of play he's going to play and the type of recruitment that needs to happen. I'm not sure on that one, but
you can't tell them nothing.
Sorry, but
let me just finish quickly because I just want to address that point. Thomas Tuchel recruited the majority of those players that summer when Todd Boehly was sporting director. He got sacked a week after deadline day, so never really had the chance to implement those players into his side. Graham Potter came in. They were players that I'm sure Graham Potter would have wanted nothing to do with. We also sacked another sporting director that come in after that in Christian Vivel, who's now at a different club, I believe. So
Wasn't he,
those
wasn't, wasn't he
players
helping
never
out? Wasn't he,
really.
wasn't he helping out at United?
Vivell, I'm pretty sure he was.
Wasn't
actually.
Vivell
Yeah,
helping
he
out
was,
at
he
United?
was.
Let me go
Why is
check
this
that
guy
out.
smiling so much? Why is he?
He's happy.
Why is Jay so happy?
He's
Oh,
happy.
it's fine.
He's
It's
What
all
Tottenham, right?
coming together. He thought it was a gender, but it's a carefully
But Yoms,
cultivated plan.
It's
Yoms,
high
do you
off
see
life.
do you see what's
High
happening
off
now?
life
Yoms, do you
right
see what's
now.
happening now? Yeah, you guys are beating yourself up so much that you've got Spurs fans laughing and skinning teeth, bro, and laughing and jeering like you guys are the Pappy show. But at the end of the day, like it's not. Anyway,
Look, Goats. In a way, right? I always say a club is never as far away as people think, right? That's just me. For me, that's just the way I see it. I'm actually not. If I'm being real, Jinx, I'm actually not, because I don't even see it as a major thing. I think Ten Hag will go in the next couple of weeks, and it's just about getting the. I think we've got I think we're off the mark if we think that United are recruiting players to play a counter-attacking football. I think we're completely off the mark. I think all of the signings that we've had show that we're not trying to play that. And Xerxes was a signing that I think was one that we're looking in terms of a long-term false nine if we need to change the game. And we've got an out-and-out number 9 if we want to play that kind of dominating high-line football, high-press football. So I think a lot of the signings that we made was in order for us to be able to change the style of play if we want to. I don't think we're playing a counter-attacking football. The Maserati doesn't say counter-attacking football. Euro doesn't say counter-attacking football. Ugarte doesn't say counter-attacking football. And for me, Xerxes doesn't say counter-attacking football. Xerxes is a player that you play if you want to try and control, that you buy if you want to try and control games, not counter-attack, right?
Young, yeah. The only thing I would say with that is I don't disagree with you. I think you are trying to play high press football, but in order to play high press football, and you need to have the personnel that are able to physically and athletically compete with other teams. And this is what I meant about buying the likes of a Ugarte from a Bayern Munich who haven't dealt with the Premier League. They were brushed aside in the meetings of Tottenham. You get brushed aside when you play with us. And I feel like Man United are like that person who you used to be a millionaire and you've gone broke and you've gone bust and you're having to adjust to life of having to like cut your cloth accordingly, but you're still buying expensive clothes. You can't.
Bro, United, United are like United. If we're looking at a high level, yeah, United are like any other team, Like,
He's getting philosophical.
like no, real talk. If you want to talk about United, how am I getting philosophical when man's talking about a millionaire? Like, if we want to look at it, Liverpool took a 30-year hiatus from winning the league. Right? I'm just being real. This is what. No, I'm just being real. This is what happens. Arsenal took a 25-year hiatus from winning the league. This is what happens. It takes a long time to cultivate.
100-year hiatus from winning the Champions League.
But go on.
No, but so this is what I'm saying, and the reason why, going back to Ten Hag, you're right in that you have to have the players that can do it, but it starts with motivating the players, and these players are just not doing it. The running stats are not there. Players that have come and gone.
Why didn't you, for instance, instead of buying Ugarte, why didn't you go to Aston Villa and say, "Give me Morgan Rogers"?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to?
Why are we talking about instead of? Why are we talking about instead of?
Because you bought bad players.
It doesn't make sense.
Ugarte made perfect sense.
Bro, how can you play Ugarte and Maino together?
But why are we saying why we shouldn't have bought Ugarte?
Because you have Maino.
The guys played two games. Mainu and Ugarte are chalk and cheese. They're completely different.
So you think those two players complement each other well?
I think they can.
With a Bruno and how do those?
Okay, let me ask you. Okay, from when you if my players, if Joe Linton and Tonali come in a physical battle with Ugarte and Mainu, not technical battle, physical battle.
If who?
If Joe Linton and Tonali go into a physical battle with Ugarte and Mainu,
and you can bet on that.
You know what's going to happen.
Soon, now I want you to answer me a question. Yeah,
go on.
Tell me a midfield who want to go into physical battle with those two players.
Tottenham did.
Yeah, we'll come run them.
Tottenham
We'll
did.
run them.
That's a good segue.
Chelsea will. Casado, and who's the other guy that you guys
They'll
got?
have Palmer and Enzo in
Yeah.
there, won't they?
No, I don't think they want to go into a physical.
Guys, are we allowed to talk
And
about?
I don't think we've seen enough of Ugarte to say that he can't go into.
I've seen enough.
Wait.
I've seen enough.
What are you talking about after a game? Like, come on, man.
Bro, what do you mean?
Don't
I
get
saw him
excited.
on roller skates, bro. Bro, did you
Don't
see
get
what we were
excited.
doing to this guy?
Don't get excited, Jay.
This guy needed a
Hold on,
ventilator
hold
and a
on,
trip
hold on.
back to Uruguay. That's what we were doing to this brother. You can't play Ugarte with his little legs, with Mainu, who can't cover ground, and call that a pivot and roll it out in the Premier League and think, who put those players together?
Hey, Jay,
That guy should be
hold on.
Sack that guy.
Leave him alone.
Who's here? No one's there. 2 seconds. I just want to, because obviously Spurs did play in it, and I just want to talk about Spurs for a second. I'm just going to react.
Oh yeah. That's
Obviously, I know we'll talk about United, how bad they are,
Yes.
but there is a narrative, that Man United played bad. But what about Spurs? Isn't it?
About that. Van de Beek is a bad man.
Mad.
And you know what? I'm happy you highlighted that goal because that goal says everything about your midfield. It says about where the physical challenges. How a centre, and this is about centre backs. You've got Martin. I am talking about Tottenham. I'm going to talk about Tottenham, blend it with Man United a bit because you want to play that high press. Tottenham got big old Van de Ven, athletic, strong, great on the ball, can play it in midfield as well as defence. If you want to play that high press, that's the type of centre backs you're going to have. Similar with Liverpool, similar with Chelsea, similar with all the other teams.
My gosh,
You're going to need that.
This bad man midfield is 3 points ahead of the worst United
Yoms,
teams ever.
you know what?
I'm
What
not
we
doing
doing?
it.
I'm not
We were last into this game.
Man's just 30 minutes saying he's done shit. When we're getting
ridiculous now, yo. This is getting ridiculous now, yo.
This is Mike Tyson midfield.
Yoms, you
This
know
is
why?
Mike Tyson midfield.
Who the fuck do they think you are, yo?
And our 3 points ahead of us now. What are we doing here?
This is.
Why are we talking
Newcastle, you know, yo.
Newcastle.
Yoms, this is. I'm talking about.
Let your hands go.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Spurs are still in 8th.
I always talk.
What are we talking about?
wow.
You see?
Yeah.
This is how Ten Hag keeps his job, yo. Because you're so concerned with keeping up appearances. Now you're going to downplay the defeat. So now Ten Hag keeps his job. And it's all because you don't want to take small banter on a football
This is the stages. This is the stage. First stage of grief. First stage of grief.
No.
Denial.
Listen,
This
we've
is
been
you're
grieving.
still in-
We've been grieving for
you're-
10 years.
Nah.
We've been grieving for 10
You're in
years.
denial.
That's a haymaker.
We
Yoms,
fully
I told
understand.
you-
You're a terrible
Yoms,
person.
I said to you, Van de Ven, and you start telling me, but how can you tell me Spurs are 8th? I said to you, Van de Ven, to me, Spurs are 8th.
Bro,
How's that
you
even-
told me. You
how's
told
that
me.
conversation,
You told me.
You know what it means, Toon. You know exactly what it means.
Spurs midfield want to go up. Van der Ven, I'm glad you highlighted
Okay.
that goal. Spurs doing
But
this.
look,
Spurs.
Bro, don't do this. Don't do this.
Yoms,
We just lost 3-0 at home to us. Don't do
Spurs are
this.
3 points ahead of
This
this
is-
terrible Man
this is-
United midfield.
This is what you don't
And they still
understand.
got Modric.
This is, but this is,
It's Modric still there, Yoms.
look,
They still
this
got
is,
Modric or something.
Ugarte should be
Yoms,
sacked.
Yoms,
They're 3
this
points
is,
ahead of us.
Yoms, this is modern football. This is what I'm trying to say to you. It's not just about it's not just like 4-4-3-3 versus 4-4-2. We played Man City. Guardiola's playing is a on paper left back, but if you see his heat map, he's like a second striker to Haaland. You got Van de Ven going from one end of the pitch to the other. This is what centre backs do. This is high press football.
Big
You
man.
think Martinez can do that? You think Martinez can come and do that to any of our teams?
Big man.
It's not going to happen.
Big man.
But Man United, you're not.
Big
That's what I'm
man.
saying to you.
This Spurs team that you're shaking your bum
Okay.
for are still only 3
But I said to you, man, that's not the
I don't
point,
know why
though.
you're getting
But
excited.
Yoms, that's not the point, though. I'm giving you a tactical. This is where the modern football is. Okay, Chelsea. Look at their centre backs. Their centre backs join up in their midfield. Cucurella's playing inverted full. Is playing inverted with Enzo and Casado. That's what's getting their team ticking.
Okay.
That's Arsenal. Look at that.
So what's the
Back
point?
scoring
So
the
you
majority.
agree with me that Ten Hag should be sacked then?
No, what I'm saying is that you're bored. You're bored just because you got Man City directors. You're not going to get Man City. You're not going to get Man City results just because you got Newcastle directors.
You was the one.
Doesn't
You
mean
was
you're
the
going to
one.
get.
You was the one on this show. You was the one on this show not so long ago telling me that United are doing great stuff with the board. So don't get so sensationalized based on one or a couple really bad performances by United, and now tell me, oh,
No, but I'm not.
Yeah, tell him again.
Yes.
You was the one that was telling me,
again.
oh, do you know what? You man are coming after Dan Ashworth. You know, I can't believe it.
No,
All
have
of this
all
kind
of
of
that
stuff.
shit.
But Yoms,
So
Dan
I don't
Ashworth-
understand if you expect this rebuild to be
But
done within 6 games or not.
Dan Ashworth is not in charge of recruitment. He's the guy that fixes the tables and chairs. He's not the guy that does recruitment. Paul Mitchell does. That's what Barada is just a CEO. They're not directors. They're not recruitment guys.
After 6. So what should we do after 6?
I'm not saying Man United.
Should we strip the board again?
No, I'm not saying that you have to strip anything. I'm saying to you, this is modern football. You're saying to me, Tottenham are 8.
You need a coach that's going to be able to.
But you haven't got the players,
bro. All right.
Who's
cool.
you haven't got the players.
All right, cool.
So it's Man U though too.
Hold on. Euro's supposed to be fast, right? Euro's supposed to be quick.
Yeah, he is. To play that
It's
high
supposed to
line.
be very, very, very quick.
Yeah.
I don't know why people think we bought him. I don't know why people think like we bought Mazraoui if it's not to.
You bought Mazraoui to get skinned by Werner repeatedly. That's why you brought that brother. What do you see? Let's not, bro.
Big
Don't
man.
bring that guy.
I will give Werner 10 one-on-ones. I'll give Werner 10 one-on-ones.
I spent Sunday afternoon
drawing for Werner.
who you said is good.
Look at BDB Dan's face the moment you mentioned Werner.
Nah, bro.
What are you talking about?
Bro, listen,
Werner.
don't do this.
Werner's put. Get
Bro,
out of here, man.
what are you doing here, bro? Werner,
Spurs
nah,
did really
stop
well.
this, bro. Because what you're doing now is you're being disingenuous, and you wonder why Ten Hag still has a job, because you want to downplay everything because you don't want to get bantered. Bro, I watched Werner.
So you think Werner? So Werner
What's
was
your point, bro?
Mazraoui.
What is
Werner
your
was
point
roasting
that you're stopping me from making my point? What is your point? Go on.
My point. Do you want my point? My
What's
point
the point
is
you
I
want to
will
make
give
right now?
Werner
Go
10
on.
one-on-ones. I'll give Werner 10 one-on-ones.
Cool.
Don't bring Werner to the table.
What do you mean don't bring Werner? Your guy,
Don't bring
your
Werner to the
defender
table.
got repeatedly skinned. The fact that Werner was able to make yards on your defender constantly stretched the pitch. Your defender constantly losing duels with Werner directly impacted the consequence of the game. You can let him skin your defender. See, you don't even want to hear the point. My point is this. You know the point you want to make.
You're being
And it's just
disingenuous.
background. Bro,
Werner skins a lot of people.
and then let me speak. What the fuck are you doing? Speak then.
Werner roasts a lot of people. The problem with Werner is not that he won't roast guys. Werner will roast guys. He'll get into a position and he will fuck it up, like he did against United many times.
Okay.
True.
That has been Werner's entire career. So don't be disingenuous and go on like this is the first time Werner's ever roasted anyone.
No,
Werner's
bro,
been roasting people for fun for 10 years.
That's
He gets to a point and then he fucks things up. And he did that again as per normal.
So what I'm going to say is, one, I actually haven't seen Werner fuck anybody up for a very long time. This is the first time I've seen Werner do anybody. Bro, Ash, you watch Spurs. When's the last time you saw Werner skin repeatedly a top level fullback?
Spurs have been poor for like 25 games in a row, Jay.
Dan, I disagree, but for the sake of agenda, I'm going to agree right now.
Werner had 2 one-on-ones, yeah, and in my heart, I knew he wasn't going to slot either.
That's fine, bro. That's fine. Werner was the reason. Werner was part of the reason that we won 3-0, and he was the main reason we didn't win 5-0. 100%. I'm okay with that. But let's be honest here. Let's be honest.
Can we get to the meat and the gravy? Are we saying that Tottenham's better than Man United?
Of course we're better than Man. Fuck off, man.
Hold on. Let me. You know what's funny? You know, this is how you know when someone's arguing off emotion here. Because Dan said they've been like mediocre for 25 games, and man said I disagree. Like it's not stats.
I'm being consistent.
Like it's not stats.
No. No, listen. No, this is what I mean about supporting Spurs. We beat United 3-0. How is this narrative even remotely falling on us this
They had
week?
10 men.
No.
Stop that. Jay,
They had 10 men
no,
and they still
no,
went
Jay,
for
United,
it.
Jay,
United were
Jay,
full before the sending off.
I'm not saying they wouldn't have beat them anyway.
They still went for it. They still
I'm not
went
saying you
for
wouldn't
it.
have beat them anyway. But
25
stop
games dead.
putting it out.
10
Are we
men.
beating them 3-0? They're 10 men, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
Goats, it's not even worth it. But lads, do you know what? I'll hate to bounce at this point. 10:30 was my cut-off point anyway.
Oh
Like, always
my God.
It's always
That's
love.
crazy.
You're in denial.
Always
but
love.
You're in
Tune.
denial.
I can't believe you. I'm gonna go through one by one. Tune, I cannot believe you. I cannot believe you've done a U-turn. BDB Dan, it's love talking to you, bro. Goats, do you know what? You are a wise man. I would love to catch a beer with you and actually chop it up one day. Chinks, you need a stage, bro. You need a stage. Ashmatic, love, bro. And Jay, you need to get something to eat. You need to get something to eat and calm the fuck down.
Right, Yums, before you go, I just want to say Buey. That's bye in Dutch. Buey. Buey. Buey.
And guys, big up Yobes, big up Manu, Old Trafford. Don't know what to call it, boy. Shit Trafford.
What's going on now?
He's got it. He's got it. He's
Chinks.
Numbers 10:30,
Chinks.
10:30. What's going on?
Chinks. Nilla Trofico.
Hey, listen.
Nilla Trofico.
Hey, Bruno is sipping on bare P Diddy oil. That's what I can say. Yeah, look, he's better run off. That's why he was slipping off that baby oil juice. Anyway, I want to talk about a certain Palmer. Yeah. And I don't know, is Palmer, is he getting to pass that level of Saka? Or
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say, is he best in Europe? Yeah. Nah, better than Saka for sure. Like,
he said that confident.
Face, calm down. Chinks.
Saka has never been at the level Cole Palmer is at right now. I don't think he has a Premier League hat trick. Cole Palmer's got 4.5.
Go get a water. Go get a water before we continue with this, please.
No, hang on. It sounds like I'm disrespecting Saka here, and I actually really do rate Saka. I just don't think he's at Cole Palmer's level. It's not to say Saka's bad. Saka's unbelievable. But
This ain't the conversation for Chinks. This is one for Stef.
why not? Saka's for Arsenal fans, Saka's an emotional topic, bro. I even talk about Foden. Yeah, but anyways, we talk about Palmer. Yeah, I don't know.
He's mixed race. You can't talk to him. He's white and mixed race. What's there to talk about? He's Michael Jackson's son. You know, what are we doing there? He's the best ever. Yeah.
The greatest, yeah? Wow.
The greatest of all time. He's the GOAT.
And how much of it do you think is good for to Palmer's a player? We all agree that. How much of it do you think is good form, and how much of it do you think this is him? Like, is he the new Hazard, or is it just that he's in purple patch form at the moment?
Oh, he's been doing it for a season now. So I don't know if it's just form. Some people said to me it's luck. I don't think it's luck and just a purple patch if you do it for the length of time that he's done it, albeit Saka's probably been at a lower level, just below that for a longer period of time. I think that's fair to say. I think Palmer's excelling at a level that Saka's not quite got to, but he hasn't done it for as long. So that's probably what I'd say on that. I don't know, to be honest. That I feel like one thing I want to see this season is him against a team in a low block, because I don't think we've got to see that yet. I think a lot of teams are like Brighton allowed him to have a lot of room on that football pitch. Now I don't know whether that's to him being able to consistently find space every time he plays. I also don't think he feels pressure. I think that massively helps. But I do want to see it in a game where we're in a low block and just sort of see what Cole Palmer we're looking at this season in terms of a different sort of style rather than in transition, where I think he's incredible.
Well, not only low block. There's questions on whether he's a big game player, like you against City, for example.
He scored in a Euros final.
No, I
So,
appreciate, but against lesser opposition. But let's say you against City, for example, you
scored-
against Liverpool,
scored the penalty to make it 4-4 in the 90th minute. Like, I just don't think
you
he
lose
feels
against
pressure.
City.
Huh?
Wasn't it 4-2? Did you lose against City?
4-4 at
4-4.
Stamford Bridge and 1-0 away. We obviously lost the semi-final in the FA Cup against them 1-0. But I don't think Palmer... The only game I've seen him sort of fail to live up to the level that he's kind of led us all to expect is against Middlesbrough the first tie in the League Cup last season. Then we had to go to a replay. Other than that, I just don't think he's been below the level that he's been at Manchester United. He stepped up in the dying minutes to win that game as well. I just don't think he feels pressure. He come on off the bench for England twice, semi-finals and final, providing an assist and a goal. I think he's got it in every game he's played.
Is he world class then?
I think he is. I think if you look at what he's doing, it's comparable to Vinny. It's comparable to Haaland in terms of.
But the thing is, Dan,
numbers.
did you say Bruno was world class when he first got to United and was doing similar?
Maybe the COVID season, he was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, as in that when Bruno was just Bruno FC and he was just pulling them out every week. Yeah, kind of how Cole was doing for you last season.
I agree.
Yeah,
by the way, that was the point.
Did you offer he was world class, or are you, because obviously you watch Palmer and you see him and you're maybe sensitized because you're a Chelsea fan? Are you giving him a little leniency on that world class shout? As in, like, if Palmer was the same guy but did it for another team, would you be saying he was world class right now?
Yeah. Of course. What he's doing is like Foden was doing similar last year.
Also, do you think he's better than Foden?
Yeah,
I do. Saka, you think he's better than Foden, yeah?
I think Palmer has something to his game, which I don't think Foden
okay,
has.
so let me just be very clear, just so I can understand this. Foden, Saka, Palmer, could you just rank those three for me in the order that you think, best to worst?
Yeah, it's probably Palmer, Foden, Saka.
Oh, wow, okay.
Have a heart attack.
Okay.
Well, Saka's not won Premier League Player of the Season.
Faze, are you okay?
And Foden has. And I
Okay.
believe that Palmer's doing better than both of them, but because of his age.
Is Chinks okay?
But that makes it sound like the person at the bottom is incredibly bad. We're actually very blessed to have all three of them representing our country and all potentially playing the same position, which is a nightmare as well. But they're like Saka, the level of that is so high. Saka is incredibly good. He gets in probably every other Prem team, bar Chelsea and at right wing, I think. And Chelsea would only if Cole Palmer's playing there. By the way, if you move Palmer to a 10, I think you get Saka in the team, don't you? I'm not even trying to wind Chinks up. I just have to say, if I think Palmer's better, he's not going to get in ahead of him if they play right wing. But he's been playing 10.
If you've got England, right, and you've got Gordon's on your left, right?
Yeah. Saka would be on the bench for me.
Not
actually. The only thing is, for me, I would say that off of what I've seen in terms of league football, he would be on the bench. But actually what we've seen for England is probably a different story. Foden was incredibly poor at the Euros, wasn't he? So maybe he's not an international player. And then if that was to prove that was the case over like another tournament, then you probably say, look, Foden's got to be on the bench because he's not delivering on the international stage, whereas Palmer and Saka have.
That's fair. Cool. Yeah.
And that's for me personally why Michu is the best Premier League striker of all time.
Michu was unreal that season. That was a celebration.
Yeah.
I don't. What else? Because for me, for instance, world class is temporary for any player. So you can go up and down. I see it as a league table. You can be world class one season. You can be not so world class the next season. I think Palmer's probably showing world class form. I wouldn't say for me personally he's better than Foden yet, because my own criteria is that, as people know, is you have to be in situations where you talked a bit about high pressure, but Foden's chased down league titles, he's chased down Champions Leagues, and he's proven himself in all those areas. So therefore, for me, Foden is got a better track record. Therefore, he's a better player currently than Palmer. It's not to say that Palmer's a bad player, obviously. I think very similar to Saka, he has proven himself consistently over time in high pressure situations, chasing, although unsuccessfully, but still chasing Premier Leagues, still chasing trophies as well for Arsenal, and at times showing himself to be consistent. So in terms of overall good player, because I feel like the more a player shows himself in high pressure situations and pulling through for his team, that's when you see a good player. I think Palmer definitely has the ingredients for it, but I feel like jumping on and saying he's better than all these other players who have proven themselves consistently over time is a little bit short. He's definitely showing world-class form, 100%. But in terms of overall player and track record, he can't touch those two guys at the moment.
But you're,
I
it's
just
like
add as
you're
well.
judging a player off of what they've previously achieved to
Yes.
consider whether or not a player's. Right now, in this moment in time, Palmer's a better player than both of those. Saka's barely been. No, it's not Saka. Sorry, Foden's barely been playing for City this season. Had an awful Euros, and Saka is definitely not on Palmer's level at this moment in time.
But then that's where we're kind of shifting criteria. I said to you, world class in terms of, for me, it's temporary, it's up and down. When the question was to you, as Jay said, are they better? Is he better players than these two players?
Yeah, well, he is, isn't he?
Like
right
overall, that's what I'm saying.
We're
I'm not saying
discussing
overall.
when he was 18 and Foden was 20. Like, we're not discussing that, are we? When Foden was like getting in Manchester City's team and he was being managed by Maresca at City's youth team. We're not discussing that. We're talking about now.
But at least
And the danger in that is there was a time when Almiron was on fire last season. I don't know if
for
you
a
remember.
month.
Exactly my point. He was on fire. You can't say, "Oh, at this point in time,
Yeah, but
Almiron
Ange won 3 back-to-back manager of the months. That's never been done, by the way.
I
And he ain't the best manager.
I understand,
around,
but
is he?
I just want to say just to cut to it. Palmer's not world class. To be world class, and I know we all have different criteria. To be world class, you have to do it on the highest stage.
Is
consistently.
Euros final not there?
No, but he didn't play well in the Euros final. He had some moments. It's not like he bossed the game.
He came on as a sub, right?
Yeah, he came on as a sub. He didn't boss the game. It's not like
Oli Solskjaer went on and scored a winning goal for Manchester United.
I didn't wait for the Euros final thinking, "Oh my days, this guy Palmer just ripped it up."
No one else decided to score from outside the box in the Euros final apart from him.
No, he did well. I mean, Daniel Sturridge did a similar thing. Like,
so was Solskjaer world class then?
No, but if Southgate started him, then it might have been a bit different. Do you know
but he didn't. So you can't say
that's down to the poor manager. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I disagree. At the end of the day, I don't think Palmer did well with the 20 minutes he had, but so did Gordon with the 5 minutes he had. So did the gambler guy. He did well.
Ivan
Toney did well. But these guys, you can't just say, "Oh, because he scored, he had a massive." I don't see it that way. And to be honest, we need to see him consistently playing in the Champions League, playing against top opposition, and see him perform like
all right,
year in, year out before we say he's world class. He's not world class.
Check this then now. Palmer has another like 30 GA or 40 GA season, right? But he doesn't do it in the Champions League because Chelsea aren't in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Are we still going to disregard him? Don't count.
Yeah, it don't count, bro.
What? Nah, I don't
no,
go
it
that.
Counts. It counts.
Don't go that.
It counts. No, hold on, Ash. It counts. It counts. It counts. He's a top player, but he's not world class. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't just throw these things around. To be world class, you have to be playing against world elite opposition. Yeah, because I remember a time. I'll give you another example. I remember when Payet was playing for West Ham, and he was ripping up the league week in, week out, and that was for a season and a half, not just a month. But he wasn't world class.
For that season and a half, Payet was world class. He was like unbelievable.
Well, we got
a season and a half. There weren't many players doing as well as Payet was banging in free kicks for fun. He was getting a ball in the halfway, on the half turn, dribbling the whole pitch.
That's not world class to me.
World class ability for a season and a half. Payet had that.
So what was
Payet had the Premier League on strings.
Gallagher's world class at Atleti as well. Have you seen him?
He's been come on, let's be realistic, Chinks.
Mohamed Salah is world class. Mohamed Salah is world class, for example. Like, don't put Payet because he had a good season and these guys.
No, but for that, but like Toon is saying, it's
do that.
Isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but Haaland is world class.
Yeah, well Palmer's got level
in his possession
with him.
No, for 6 games, bro. But he hasn't done it at the highest level.
Yeah, but we're talking about a temporary
Haaland just won the flipping treble. Huh?
We were just saying that temporary form needs to be in world class for a period of time.
Not for me.
Consistency does.
Consistency.
But that's why I agree with Dan though. Like if he's done it for a year and a bit, like getting numbers that nobody else
not
is
enough.
getting. That's
It's
why
not enough. 18 months. Didn't you just if what you lot are saying is true, then Gox's thing about Payet has to be true as well. If your point is correct, it has to transition into other examples.
If we had the world 11,
if he's got such a simple example to refute your point, because world class is too big of a title to just say because you play good for a certain amount of period.
Exactly.
It's an elite. It's like a Hall of Fame thing.
it's a criteria
What's
thing.
his name? Lewis Dunks looked world class. Like you would never mutter those. You know what I mean? Anyone could have a good.
So I would say
period.
elite,
It's about
elite
consistency.
players.
And if it ain't at least 2 years, there's not even a discussion.
But I would say elite is different to world class. Elite is Saka, Foden, and then Palmer for me.
Yeah, I agree.
So you
World
agree with
class.
us then? He's not world class.
No, but I'm saying elite and world class is different. World class for me is
No,
temporary.
but hold on. Dan is saying he's world class, not elite. He's saying he's world class. So
Yeah, so
you're
you
on
can't-
our side then.
For example, you see McAllister at Liverpool, right? McAllister has won international. He won the Copa America, and he played every game. He was influential in that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't
yeah.
hear me
Like Cristiano Romero.
Sorry, yeah, you don't hear me coming out here saying McAllister's world class. But I could argue that.
McAllister's
Is
not
Romero
winning
world
games on
class?
his own though, is he? Scoring 4 goals, banging in a
No, but he plays in
30-yard
different
free
positions,
kick.
so he's not going to be scoring 4 goals. He plays in a
Yeah,
deeper
but
midfield.
he's not getting on the
He's
board
won
dominating
two.
every
He's won
single
2.
game.
Hold on a minute. He's won 2 tournaments, not just turned up
Yeah,
in the
well, so's
final
Enzo
and banged
Fernandez.
on in the top bin.
So's Romero. Like we're not saying
Exactly. That's my
Cole,
point.
yeah,
That's what our
but
point
I'm
is.
not saying that doesn't make you world class just because you win a World Cup and a Copa America. You can be
No,
world class
but
without winning.
you've been
those
playing
things.
at a high level consistently. Even that doesn't
Yeah, but
necessarily.
elite.
playing
What you're
in the
describing as elite, though,
playing in
Goats.
the Premier League and playing in Euros finals are the highest level.
He
Bar
got 20
Champions
minutes. He
League.
got 20 minutes in the Euros finals, bro.
and still delivered.
But I don't. Do you think he played that well?
Yeah, well, yeah.
He didn't get man of the match.
Score. He was the only player to score for England in that final.
Was he the man of the match, bro?
I don't think he was, but I actually
He
don't even
wasn't,
care
man.
who
So-
was man
so
of the
we
match
can't
in
do
that,
that.
in that game. No one did enough in that final, bar Cole Palmer as an individual.
I like Cole Palmer, by the way. I don't even know why I'm arguing against him. I like Cole Palmer a lot.
I just don't think he's world class. You think people are going too soon for him? That's what you're saying.
Way
You need
too
more
soon,
time.
bro. Like who's world class? Who's world class in the Premiership?
Haaland.
And then put Cole Palmer's name in it. It doesn't even fit yet. But you can
why
get there
doesn't it
though,
fit? Why doesn't it fit?
because I've just explained. He hasn't done it at the highest
Where
level.
would Chelsea have been last season had it not been for Cole Palmer? By the way,
But
where did you
that's
end up
what
anyway?
Arsenal's arguments for Saka.
That's no.
I was going to say, like, where did you end up
that's-
anyway?
No,
Anyway, even
no,
with
because
Where
you.
would Bolton-
Saka
where
isn't
would
having
Bolton
to
be
do it
without a
completely on
coach?
his own, though. I didn't hear that.
Hey, Petro was dope, by the way, but carry on.
That's cheeky, you know, but very accurate.
What would Newcastle be without Dan Burn? I don't know.
You know what I mean? The season Tottenham qualified for the Conference League. Where would they be without Harry Kane? Not qualifying for the Conference League, innit? Do you know what I mean?
I would say, here's a good example. Harry Kane is for me, my criteria, Harry Kane is world class, but he's not elite.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm
Wait,
saying?
no, hold on.
Oh,
So
wait, what?
what's going on?
So what's define the world clock? Because I thought
Elite's first, then world
Yeah.
class, bro.
No.
Nah,
It's world class.
elite's like top 3 in the world or top 2
was
in
that
the world.
goat
Elite,
level?
like,
Yeah, elite
I
is
don't
before.
I thought elite
higher than
over
world class. I thought world class was the highest tier.
Yeah, world
No,
class is
no,
definitely
no,
the
no,
highest.
no.
For me, world class.
Because we still got generational, no?
Because if we're talking about world class, we're
Wow,
talking
you
about
got
the best.
God tier then.
We're talking about the best in world football currently. So that's why it's temporary. That's why it's always up and down.
No, it's
Elite
not.
is permanent. Mohamed Salah is permanent. Haaland is permanent. All those guys are permanent. Those
No,
guys.
but that's not what it is to him, because then it comes down to who you're playing against and the competition around you. World class is like a Hall of Fame kind of thing where you're going to be stapled in and remembered forever for your footballing ability. World class has to be the highest of it all. Elite is
100%,
under what it's got to be. Think about it, every human being in the world, you're the best of them. Elite can't be higher than that.
But it's not.
You see, like Gareth Bell, for example, we say like his career went down the pan towards the end, but we say, what I do, Gareth Bell was world class. Like
too,
he
I
was.
Bale was
That's what I'm saying.
world
That's why
class
it's
in the Prem.
temporary.
Exactly, but once you're there, that's it. Like you're Hall of Fame, bro.
But then that's elite. That's elite.
Michu was elite. Michu was elite.
He was elite for Swansea.
If he kept
He was
it
like
up
world class. What's your world
consistently,
class?
he'd be world class. Because elite, period. And you know, have you thinking we're talking to a Chelsea fan? He's gonna
100%.
he's a very what have you done for me lately sort of bloke. You get what I'm saying? So
100%.
that's why he's got a certain selected period he wants to highlight to use to justify how good his player is. Do you get what I
100%.
mean? Not even what he's done yet.
How you know if a player's world class is, yeah? God forbid something happened to Palmer today and he stopped playing football. We wouldn't say Palmer was a world class player. We wouldn't say that.
True.
Can I just
We
ask you
would
a question
say
then, Goats?
Palmer
Like,
was a
because you're
very
telling
good player.
me that Bale is world class.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
What? No, this ain't just stats.
100%.
But okay, I agree with you. What season?
Bro, that's a good question.
The season
very
before
good
he got the
question.
move when he banged in 20 goals and he was winning Tottenham.
I remember
games.
when he was playing. I remember when he was playing for Tottenham.
Because it weren't when he was left back breaking in against Maicon. Or was
I remember when he was playing for Tottenham on the wing, and they were playing in the Champions League, and this guy was killing. Who's Inter Milan right back?
Maicon. Yeah,
Maicon.
that you know
He
what?
was killing Maicon.
He was playing left
in the
back in that
Champions
game.
League.
He was
And
playing
he
left
was
back.
one of the best right backs in the world.
And that
He was playing left
season,
back.
he got player of the.
Yeah, you know what season? That's like 0-10, 11.
Right. So
Yeah,
to
and
say,
then
to say
a season
Bale
late,
is
then he
world
moved to
class
the
in
other
that
wing
season. Hang
'cause
on. To say Bale is world class in that season is 7 goals in the Prem.
yeah, but you're a statistician. I'm not.
Yeah,
No, I'm
but
not.
the
I'm
thing,
just
but
He's
saying.
doing it at Champions League. He's doing it at Champions
Dan,
League.
the
That's
equivalent would
yeah,
be
bro.
okay. So that's
Temporary.
Gokes. That's
Hence
one
what was
game. That's
temporary.
one game, right? That you're recalling
Nah,
of
but
how good
it's-
Bale was. I can do that with Cole Palmer. He's
No,
just
you
done it
can't
against
because
Brighton.
it would be the equivalent.
One
It would be
Chelsea
the
game.
no,
Brighton.
but Dan, it would be the
Brighton.
equivalent of Cole Palmer going to fucking I don't know,
Brighton,
scoring a
Chelsea,
hat trick
Euros
against,
final,
directly
like-
against Alphonso Davies or something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
but Cole
the level
Palmer's
of
got
what he
Premier
did.
League hat tricks, like four in a
Who's
Prem.
the best player? Who did he score a hat trick against this weekend? Who was playing left back? Fucking Faridoglu or something. I don't even know who the fuck was playing. Who's playing left back?
That sounds like a greyhound. That sounds like I'm gonna put some money on that on the weekend. That sounds like,
I'm gonna have to go. You guys, I'm gonna have to go for work tomorrow. But listen, as always, enjoy the time. Big up all of yourselves inside. And Chinks,
big up,
Jay,
big up.
Ash, of course, Toon.
Big up to you, Gokes, man.
Later.
Like for me, that's why. Like for instance, you go for the level.
Oh,
you got,
don't try and come and be all intellectual now, man.
you got for the culture. You got streets. Don't forget.
Yeah.
I forgot what the one in the middle.
El Hadj Youth and them, man. Yeah.
What the one in the middle is. Then you got world class, and you're temporary between. But elite is when you've etched your name in history. Like you're breaking records, i.e. Haaland, Mohamed Salah, Hazard, all those type of guys.
Muhammad Ali.
So you can say they'll drop off at some points because that's what careers are. They're not forever world class. Ronaldo's not world class right now, but he is elite. Like he's etched. Like he's the goal actually is even above elite, right? So world class is like who's in the best. If you did the world best 11 now and like top 3 players in each positions, it's hard to say Cole Palmer isn't in there. Like
He walks into that. He walks into that right now.
Yeah.
By the way, he's won a treble. Just to let you know.
Oh yeah. Dan, I was fighting. People were about to go join your side until you started talking like that, bro.
Hey, Gareth Bale's best ever Prem season, by the way, is 33 games, 21 goals.
Yeah, but I think
Palmer's beat that.
you know what it is? It's whether you're an aesthetic merchant like me. I'll be real. I'm an aesthetic merchant. Or if you are a stat padder, do you know what I'm saying? Or not stat padder, but an effectiveness over, like, style over.
But isn't Palmer both? Isn't
I
Palmer
think
both?
Palmer's both. I've seen Palmer score some unbelievable goals, and I've seen him score 9 penalties as well.
Actually, don't think Palmer is aesthetically pleasing.
Well, listen, the reason why I brought it up because I just
He's
thought,
got 2 goals of the month, Ash.
yeah, no, yeah, I hear it. Listen, I highly rate it. And
Who's better to watch, Maddison or Palmer?
whoa there, buddy, Palmer.
Get ready to
No, I'm gonna lie to you. I'll be real.
Madness, though,
Palmer,
man. Did you see when he moved the ball on the corner? Did you see that?
he's straight. He dropped the shoulder and he flicked his head.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, listen, Madison's a different kettle of fish. I think. The way we play Maddison. The way we play Maddison, we don't play him as an out and out 10, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of make him make from deep, kind of controls it, and then he gets involved in the attacking
Palmer
play.
can do that.
Palmer
No.
can do it. I did see Palmer do it. You know what I'm going to lie? I did see Palmer do it against Brighton. Dan, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I thought I saw Dan drop into the pocket one time and then, not pocket, drop deep.
Yeah, drop
Course,
deep.
and then
Played two
Enzo
unbelievable
scored.
through balls
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? I saw that first time, like
Yeah.
crazy, over the top,
to
into
Jackson.
the
Yeah.
feet. Like, so, yeah, I know what.
Palmer
You know
got
what? Hands are
11
up.
assists last year. Like he can do everything.
Yeah, he can play make. He's a playmaker as well.
He's,
Crazy.
I don't think
Oh.
I'm being over the top here saying he's world class, because the numbers he put up last season, the way he started this season, are as competitive as they can be against the biggest names in world football, who would be considered world class to elite.
Yeah, no, you got a good point. You got a good point. I think for some people, they need to see a bit more time, and you've seen enough, in your opinion. You're like, listen,
I saw enough when he made his debut, and he was levels above every single. Listen, he was levels above every
There's love at
single.
first sight.
Listen,
Was it love at first
You know
sight?
what? Hear me on this. I was chatting to. No,
He's blushing. He's blushing.
Can
as
you-
well.
right.
You had me at
Chelsea
hello.
was-
You had
I'll
me
tell you
at
two
hello.
things.
Yeah,
I'll tell you two things. Chelsea was so poor, and we were so off it, that this kid walked in who couldn't even get into Manchester City's first team or like starting 11, barely played games for them, walked into Chelsea's 11, and everything was
But
That's- you sound like Man United
Well,
fans when they talk about Diallo now.
And he
like,
was honestly, he was
built
levels
like a
above.
cheese string.
And I went on. I was on Chelsea Fan TV that night, and I basically said, like, this kid cannot get in Manchester City's 11. That is how far off we
Because of
are
Foden.
from like challenging Manchester City again.
because of Foden, just to say that, just because of
Yeah,
Foden.
Foden. I think Mahrez at the time, they signed Doku, and he was miles above every player we had on the pitch. And I thought,
But that wasn't hard though.
and we just signed him for 40 million. I remember a week before we signed him, I was saying, "Oh, he'd be a good squad player." And then now look what happened. He's unbelievable. But LB said to me the first time he ever saw him play for Manchester City, he was unreal. And then he knew straight away this kid was going to be unbelievable. And then Manchester City didn't play him enough, and it
He
slowly
wasn't-
fell away.
Yeah.
And then he obviously needed to move or
Was
a loan, and they
huge
sold
mistake.
him.
They could have loaned him, and he said, "No, we're selling you." That was a bit mad.
Yeah,
That
could
was
have gone
mad.
Burnley on loan under company.
Oh, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, that would have been mad. I'm going to change it slightly just to go to Newcastle real quick, because
Oh,
it ties in. It ties in with Arsenal, and obviously Newcastle, Man City. No. Man City lost a certain player. Man City lost a certain player in Rodri, right?
yeah.
It's been a week, so a lot's happened. So I just want to touch on it and pause. But Newcastle, obviously, they got the points of City. Do you know
Well
what I mean?
deserved.
And then also, Pep came out, was like, we've lost our player. Like, we can't replace that. We've lost a lot. Do you not take that seriously when he's saying things like that? Like, we've lost a player, is irreplaceable. He didn't say those words exactly, but
So good.
kind of like felt defeated
So
before the
good.
game was even played. And then all of a sudden, that kind of manifested in the Newcastle, playing. I thought they played really well, and they
Yeah,
got
they
the
did.
point at the end. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
like, I compare it to, and I shouldn't do this. I compare it to Ange. And I compare it to Ange, and Ange lost Son, and he was like, you know what? We're still gonna do this damn thing. You know what I mean? We're still gonna turn up and do our thing. You know what I mean? Oh, like, that's
I felt a darkness loom over my heart, and then sorry. So what's the question? Kaz, big up to you, sir. How you doing? Big up.
I'm doing great, man. I'm ready in my hate along for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day. What the fuck is that?
He's the worst.
sorry. He's coming, isn't it? Sorry, he said he's coming anyway.
Oh,
Anyway,
Wait, hold on. What do you mean he's coming? He said he's going to.
Pause,
pause.
please. That was repeatedly as well.
Wait,
He's sick, man.
You started talking dirty then.
Yeah, it's baby oil behind you. He's
well,
sick, man.
I'm glad to see that we don't have usually the children that come on. Is it Ian? And
Yeah, he is. Man. We had a different United fan on. He was a bit more Yomes. We had the Yomes on today, but We'll meet him Monday. You'll meet him Monday. Don't worry. I'm sure.
No, I don't want to meet other United fans. They do my head in, man. They rate Bruno Fernandes and stuff. It's weird, man. Got time for that shit, man.
Well, yeah, no, we're just
Top
talking
5.
about Newcastle, innit? And City's defeated approach manifesting. Obviously, it gives Arsenal a way in. Now, I think that me personally, this is the season. But Chinks is gone. Hey, Chinks, this is for Chinks.
He had enough of the Saka slander.
Well, I was gonna say, is the pressure not on for? Because wait, he's back. Don't worry. Is the pressure not on for Arsenal? I just wanted to ask Chinks, like, for
What's up?
because obviously, like, it looks like I'm not saying Man City are out, but is the pressure on for Arteta to kind of do something now and go all the way in his third season being in the title challenge?
You know what it is, yeah, because as I said, when I come here, pause all the time, and I get new information, and it updates me and re-educates me and reassesses my viewpoint. So all I hear is, we need a striker, man. We ain't got a traditional number 9, a guy that will just put the ball in the back of the net. Like, I hear that every year. So what that leads me to think is, we don't have the complete team to win anything. Do you get what I mean? So until we get what you lot all say we need to win, which is a complete striker, I don't think Arteta actually has the team he needs to actually win anything. Do you know what I mean? And this is all just information that you lot have updated me with.
What do you believe?
Let me.
What do you believe?
Cole Palmer's the best to ever do it.
So if Arteta doesn't win like a single trophy again,
Nah, he's cool with it. You're asking the wrong fan for that one.
Nah, fuck it up. Sack him and get Ten Hag. He's the most successful, because we're not going to get Pep, and he's the second most successful Premier League manager at the moment. So sack him and get Ten Hag.
He'll do
I'm
well
about
at it.
results. Yeah. And you know what it is? Ten Hag, he's a great tactician, but what it is, he's not, because English isn't his first language, he can't always get his message across, innit? And the modern game, it's about a lot of like in-game tactics. You got to be adaptable. So what happens is he sets out the game plan, but when they get on the pitch and it changes, he doesn't know how to communicate the message to the players on the pitch, innit? Which is why he buys so much Dutch guys, because they speak Dutch, so he can talk to them. Do you get what I mean?
Do you know
And
what, Chinks? There's actually so many managers, by the way, and ex-players that will talk about a language barrier being a huge problem. I know you're like taking a look a bit, but
It's true. It's true.
Being genuine.
Nah.
Unai had that Arsenal in it. Didn't Unai Emery have a bit of that at Arsenal?
What do you mean? His English was great. He had good evening. That's perfect. To be honest, I wish we should still have Emery. Don't you remember you lot were saying that he's better than Arteta? He's won stuff. Do you know what I mean? He's European elite.
Listen, you had the crowd, and then he started to get a bit cocky. And he started to run the game a little bit.
Well, he just beat a better Bayern Munich side that you lost.
Arteta didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Truth is blending with the reality a little bit too much now, Chinks, isn't he? He's like, where am I going with this?
Let me record that little part just in case. So just in case one day Jay decides he's got slander on me, and then I see him being racist right there, saying a racist name.
What's going on now?
Get you cancelled by the Asians, bro.
Oh no, Asians won't cancel me. They've got bigger fish to fry. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, that's another one.
Whoa.
So yeah, I think. What are you gonna say? They're gonna act like
they only eat fish.
They hate salmon. Fucking hell, get it, boys. What are you talking about?
Guy just came from Bengali's national dish, bro.
Oh, okay. Ridiculous.
Wow.
yeah, but all right, cool. What do you think? Obviously, Arsenal are playing Southampton this weekend.
Slaps.
Sheesh. It's gonna be crazy.
Would you like? Obviously, Trossard's been playing that position. Do you think Nuari, that the young kid, he should get a little goal? Do you know what I'm saying? On a raw tip. Pause. Do you think he should be given a chance?
Over who? Over who? Who would he be playing over?
They got 2 week. You know they got a 2 week break, man. They don't need to rotate.
Yeah, they'll be all right. Who would he play over? Who would he play like instead of?
Like Trossard's playing in the 10 right now, no?
Yeah, he'll stay there. Then I think he won't risk it. He'll just stay there. Once Arsenal are 3-4 up.
Why is it
When-
okay? So what we say now, is it too much pressure for Arsenal now? Because obviously they're on a title charge to kind of risk a youngster and play in a game against Southampton. Southampton aren't all that. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's
I'd run through them. Pause.
go relating to your earlier point. Exactly what you're saying. Is it too much pressure? That's why Guardiola is the master. He's emphasizing the whole thing about Rodri being out, and it's not to say that it's not a miss, but he's overemphasizing it now to heap on more pressure on Arsenal. When really, if you watch Man City play, obviously I had to watch them play against us. They're playing the same way. They're still incredibly good. Yes, obviously they're missing Rodri. I have to emphasize that, but they're still playing the same way, and we played well as well. That's why we didn't concede. But I still expect Man City to be Man City in terms of like still get the results, especially against teams that aren't quite ready to deal with their kind of them overloading the central midfields and everything else. I would have expected them, and I think someone said it on here. I don't know if it was you guys when you were talking about. Someone else said it in terms of like why he didn't play Savinho and Doku on the wings. I think that would have been a better selection of players rather than Silva and Grealish done well, but at least play Savino on the other side and stretch the play. He didn't want to do that. I think that was his main mistake. I don't think he'll make that same mistake again. So I still expect City to have the same results at some point as well.
Why do you think he's not playing? Well, you didn't play Foden in that game. Was that to start Foden in that game?
It's personal issues, apparently.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, apparently.
Didn't Foden get man of the match in Champions League yesterday or something?
Foden looked really good last night, but apparently there's been personal matters that had to be sorted or something. So that's
sorted now, by the looks of it.
Yeah, he looked really good last night. I thought, considering he hasn't played much, he definitely looked back at it. Not quite on Palmer's level, but he's there or thereabouts. Looked a bit better than what I've seen Saka play like this season.
Does anyone think though that City can still win the league? Because there's like the momentum at the moment with Arsenal, and I think the consensus at the moment.
I think that's just a narrative. I think City are always favourite. It's up to everybody else to prove if they can win it or not.
Like they still got Haaland in that side, Ash. They still got Gundogan. They still got Bernardo Silva. They got De Bruyne to come back. They got Diaz. They got great players. I'm sure they've got enough. If you look at the players they've probably still got a better team than Arsenal.
Yeah.
Even though they don't have Rodri.
Cass, do you agree? Do you think Arsenal? City are still favourites ahead of Arsenal, and City will get the job done?
I don't think he's here. He's here, but he's not here.
He's on the hub.
You heard that one.
Wait. Who's talking to you, by the
way? He's rock hard. Pause.
Wait, I'm confused. What happened?
This guy, bro.
Did I get asked the question or something?
Yeah. No, I'll answer your question still, but
oh no, I was looking up if Chainsaw Man season 2's coming out.
That's a new category. I ain't heard that one.
Anime, isn't it?
Yeah. That's an hentai. Fuck yeah.
You said hentai. Fucking hell. I don't know why that got my attention either. I'm not a sicko. I promise I'm not a sicko. I was like, oh shit, no. Let me go back to my phone. You sick freak. That's why I was like, you sick freak.
Do you know?
Man says sick freak. Don't you Botox yourself up, bro? But
what's nothing wrong with that, bro? Nothing wrong. Prevention's better than cure, bro. When you get to my age, you'll have to look after yourself too, bro.
Jay, smiles and let me see your facial muscle. Yeah, your facial. Yeah, now it. Face muscles, massive face muscles don't even move, blood. Anyway,
don't worry about that, bro. Don't worry about that. Everyone's getting it tonight. Everyone's getting it. What's the
No, we're not.
Cheeks. Whoa.
Don't ever make that noise.
Yeah. What was the question?
So the question
was... sounded like Shaggy from Bombastic, you know.
Fucking hell, man.
So like everyone, most people on the panel, not everyone, a few of the guys on the panel have said that, it's just a narrative that Arsenal are going to do it. City is still going to win the league.
No.
Disagree?
No, I don't think City will win the league this year. I'm not going to lie. I just don't see in a world where they win it without Rodri. I don't care how much of a master plan Pep's got and all this genius. Bro, that's great in theory. No, No Rodri for all season is no Rodri, blood. That's a major player. You could put Bernardo there, Kovacic there. I don't care how you look at it. I don't. That's the one man that they need fit more than anybody else on that pitch, other than obviously Haaland, of course. But I've seen them win the league with false nines, but they still got Rodri or Fernandinho in there or whoever they need there. They got no base players. They got the guys that can maybe do a job that they have to sacrifice something to occupy that role for them, like 2 players, not 1. So for me, unfortunately, I think you might find some surprise packages this season. This is just of course, this is just like my take on things, and it probably won't come true. Not much really comes true in predictions, but I think Arsenal don't have an excuse not to win now. I think because even if they didn't have one, no Rodri, I think that's just they talk about the 2-point gap and not having no Rodri is like for me that's like 10-point gap. Does that make sense? And I think you know what, Liverpool are going to be up there if they can maintain, if they reinforce in January. I believe that's when it comes down to when there's a lot of games, unless they sacrifice some competitions. And dare I say, there might be some other surprise packages in there. But I don't want to be reactionary and say Chelsea or whoever. But I reckon someone might be in the play there, but they won't quite make it.
Who would be a dark horse other than Chelsea to go in?
I think that is the dark horse.
You think Chelsea's the dark horse?
You know what? I would like to see how Villa look like. I know it might sound stupid, but I want to see what they look like when they got Kamara back in the team, an actual DM, not Onana, this fraud, but he's a good squad player to have, I suppose. But Kamara, the actual DM of their thing.
You're breaking up, Jay.
Yeah, you're watching too much Empire, bro.
That's like crazy.
Do you think it'll be
I can't.
Tielemans who loses his spot when Kamara's back?
No, because then you know what? It depends. Because Emery, you know what? I think Onana and a Kamara pivot probably works the way Emery would like, but then they lose a little bit of an element into. I think Tielemans is their best centre midfielder at the moment. He's been mint. He's one of the better players. I think even Barkley coming off the bench has. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's been quite useful. He's a good squad option. Yeah. Underrated squad option, I would say. And I think I think you know what, they're holding on at the moment, Villa, innit? They're holding on with some of their performances. Duran coming off the bench is saving their skins at times, but that's the whole point of having a good squad. Do you know what I mean? Watkins is getting a couple goals here and they'll be fine, man. They'll be fine. They've got the quality.
They can't be dark horses, Cass, if they're drawing to Ipswich at the same time, though, can they?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Like Arsenal drew Brighton, you know. Arsenal drew with Brighton. They're not playing great, but they're getting results.
Yeah, but although Ipswich and Brighton drew, I think it's not.
But why Chelsea? You drew with Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I don't think Chelsea are good enough to win the league. When you see, but
that's the whole point of a dark. Is that the whole point of having the whole dark horse shout?
No, but a dark horse is a team that actually has the potential to win the league. They just haven't got the focus on them, and they're not in the light as much as the
for me, I don't know in it because I don't think a dark horse is good enough to win the league above. If you really want to put one there, you'd probably label it Liverpool because no one expects them to do anything. That's the most reasonable dark horse. But if we're going in and outside of what's at the moment an outsider outside that 3, I think the more consistent sides will be Chelsea because I don't think Chelsea's issue is playing against the top sides. I think before it was the lower sides. Now they're killing them. Villa, you know, they got to work on maybe against the top side. They were unlucky to actually not beat Arsenal. To be fair, Watkins missed them an absolute trophy of a game. But they're managing, innit? And I don't think they look as good, but the more rigid side seems to get the results anyways. So we'll see. You know, they can have another 3 points after Sunday, innit? And solidify Ten Hag sacking. That's all I care about.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So coming back to FaZe, yeah, obviously you're in this camp of Arsenal. Boy, it is what it is, isn't it? Whatever goes with the weather. Who's your dark horse? Looking at it, if you're not going to include yourselves as Arsenal, can you see
Leicester?
You know, I think they survived though. I think they got a good basis.
He's done it before.
They got a good basis. No, you know what? Ratings to Leicester, you know, because I wrote them off, you know, and they actually look like they can keep in a game still compared to a lot of like Southamptons and stuff. They're not that bad.
I always knew I liked you, Cass. I always knew.
Yeah. They put up a good fight against you, man, and Crystal Palace.
It's true.
True.
It's true.
Hey, same question to two, man. Go on, who's your dark horse, bro?
No, I don't think it's a dark horse. I don't believe Liverpool are dark horse. Like you guys know, I think
They ain't even got no fans there too, man.
exactly. There's no fans here to torment, really. For me, it's between Liverpool. It should be the pressure is mainly on Liverpool to dethrone Man City than it is in Arsenal. I think they've done a clever switcheroo here and made Arsenal the top favourites when it should be them. I would agree to an extent. I want to say Chelsea, but I'm not. I feel like we could make the same mistake with Chelsea as we did with Tottenham last season, where the first 10 games was looking like, oh goodness gracious. But I don't think people quite believed it because of. Sorry,
Chelsea.
we just don't know. We don't know that this is the first time we've seen Chelsea. Well, not really first time, but this level of form and this level of like demolishing teams. You know, they're still got humps to deal with. Like when teams start really like playing low blocks, doubling up on certain players, fighting them. I'm thinking of Newcastle. We've got them in the League Cup coming up. We're gonna see like what Chelsea come out, because I've seen Chelsea players fold at St James's Park. Let's see if they fold at other, especially away grounds, and see what they do.
We might have you like twice in a week too.
Yeah. Once at St James's and then once at Stamford Bridge for the
Chelsea
league.
might reinforce though. If they reinforce in January,
How many more reinforcements
remember,
do they need?
But imagine they're looking to offload the disaster and get another centre back in January. That's actually quite known now.
Yeah.
And obviously the break clause is there
Sick, man.
for Osman if he wants it. And Chelsea can be like, all right, I'll take him as an option for 50 million. Done.
Is
No,
this
if Chelsea
Chelsea
continue
or
to
the
spend,
American
like,
military? Because it's crazy. Fucking Navy SEALs. What's going on there?
Well, their team doesn't stop, man. I mean, I thought they were in trouble at one point with financial.
No, they got washed off.
They
Quick.
never were.
Yeah.
Chelsea are front for a Bitcoin scam. This isn't a real football team. This is serious. It's a money laundering going on somewhere. I can smell it. I've seen Better Call Saul. I know it when I see it.
I mean, yeah, if they get another centre back, then yeah, they can really, because I think that's their problem, in my opinion. Defensively, that's where the weakness is, and if they improve on that, their fullbacks, obviously they've got what's his name? Got Gusto. Gusto's for me, he's a good fullback. So if you get him, and then Cucurella's having a good season.
Cucurella's fantastic.
With actual defending,
World
not
class.
just inverting and all of that.
Nah, Cucurella is not the one for me, man. It's that.
World class, bro.
He makes the midfield tick. He's incredible.
I like Vega way much. For me, I prefer Vega over Cucurella.
Yeah, but who's got a better Barnet?
I actually think they've both got outrageous barnets to this. They do. Vegas ain't tidy enough. You know what I mean?
He looks like he's being electrocuted, isn't
Vega's a little bit funky for me. Cucurella is a little bit more smooth with it, a little bit more know-how about he does, which you'd expect. He's got like, I don't know, 3-4 years career experience on him, I think. How old is Vega?
He as well.
Probably more. I don't know, Vega
no joke. Yeah, if someone said Vega was that from Crash Bandicoot, Dr. Neo Cortex, that's Dr. Neo Cortex in real life, and they said it's Vega, I believe him. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Cucurella's 25, 26. Vega's 21.
Okay, yeah. So that you can tell. I feel like the experience there shines for Cucurella, but Vega's obviously gonna get there.
Cucurella obviously come through La Masia as well.
Yeah.
So he's spent the majority of his playing career in Spain playing left mid.
He covers for Enzo a lot, and I think that's why you got Enzo's form improving a lot.
100%. I agree with that.
Yeah, I completely agree as well. I think Enzo Fernandez is a player that has looked better in the last couple of games. He's also a player that I feel like every game he plays, Chelsea are carrying him in some way. And normally that's in transition. Because he really struggles to make up ground.
I think Lavia should play ahead of him then.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, in a heartbeat.
Who?
Lavia.
Oh, yeah.
Enzo Fernandez looks good, and at times he's looked like he's been able to be more progressive than he's been in a while. But I think Lavia can do it literally on the edge of our own box, whereas Enzo needs a bit of space and needs to be a little bit higher up the pitch to be as effective as I think Lavia can be from a deeper role. I think Lavia looks quality for me. I think he looked unbelievable even just when he came on the other day.
Can he break lines the same way?
Oh, I think he can do it better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Who?
I think he's more mobile than Enzo Fernandez.
Definitely.
Enzo Fernandez picks passes that he overcomplicates them when there's no need to. Like, he'll hit it with the outside of his boot over a 5-yard distance, or he'll like hit it on the stretch so he doesn't quite generate the power that he needs to. I always feel like he's struggling to get the ball to travel the distances it needs to. Like, if he plays a switch, it'll have a bounce on it by the time it gets.
Sounds like he's trying to prove that he's £100 million player when it's really the basic thing that would help him.
Maybe. And I genuinely wish that we hadn't signed him for that price tag, because I would like to see him more relaxed. Like, I feel like he is playing for Argentina. He never looks like there's a price tag on him, because there literally isn't for a national team.
Yeah. And Enzo's getting away, obviously, with that the racist chance.
That the fact he's been given vice captain, I think is a.
I was going to say
PR.
he can sing what songs he wants to sing in Argentina.
I actually think that's ridiculous. By the way, that he got given captaincy, or pretty much captaincy, because Reece James can't stay fit.
And that Enzo Mascaro, that he's a hatchet
the back
man.
of what happened, I don't know. Like, I can't comment. I'm not in the changing room, and I don't know what the players think of it. But for me, it didn't sit well off the back of that. But defensively, I kind of agree with you. But I think our biggest issue is going to be goalkeeping.
Can you explain to me why? Like, because I'm obviously like I'm trying to compute it. Like, Benton Core, obviously, he's up for getting a ban now. I think it's this Thursday or today. Literally, he's going to get on a hearing, innit?
For what?
Yeah, I didn't hear what was said in that interview. I've got to be honest with Benson. Bless you. I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know if it can be repeated on here, but I haven't actually seen what Benson Kerr said. I just know that he did a post-match interview, and apparently it's been reported that it had incorrect conduct or something.
Yeah, so it's a couple things, isn't it? So one's about Son, and about looking very familiar with other countrymen.
Right.
That kind of, when they say all black people look the same, that kind of.
Right.
You forget what I'm saying. And then the other thing was
some of them do, though. Let's be honest.
Who's gonna do it? Why are you like this? But yeah, I think another incident was when he was with Uruguay and he threw a boot at someone's head. I think it almost hit a woman or something like that. So he was moving a bit, kind of, yeah.
I threw out a guy's head. I saw that one. That was crazy.
The only thing is,
thanks for cleaning it up, too.
Is it an FA ban or
make him some woman beater? This guy.
Is it Ash? Is it FA or is it a FIFA ban that he could get? Do you know?
Oh, I think the FA are getting involved.
Right. So the only reason Enzo wasn't punished by the FA is because it was outside their jurisdiction, and that's on a technicality only, basically.
Because I thought that we let him go, and then it happened. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Then the incident happened. So I was like, how come he's getting away with it, but we're getting, because apparently it's going to be a 6-game ban.
Wow, I don't know, to be honest with you. It's only if the interview was, for me, is if it's based in around where the FA can control it. I heard that because Enzo Fernandez was under Argentinian FA at the time when that video happened, that the English FA can't punish him, apparently. But either way, I think making him captain stinks.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I want to go to quick Premier League predictions before I wrap up in it. And I want to start with FaZe. What are you saying? Arsenal, Southampton. How do you see that going?
Be serious, FaZe. Don't start giving us...
Yeah, come on. I actually want to hear... Last time I was on, I actually rated everything that was coming out. And then this time, like... I don't know what I'm hearing.
After I got abused,
it's the Saka thing. You threw him off.
No, it's not even that. After I got abused for going a man down and protecting a win against City, and I saw everybody attack me for Haram football and not entertaining the neutral. Literally, that moment, I said, I'm never ever trying again. I'm just gonna say,
I don't get the fuss with it.
It's crazy.
Arsenal had to do
it's
that.
Crazy. Yeah,
You're
it's
playing
crazy.
Man City. You're
I
fighting
totally
against
agree.
them directly to win.
I wish you was there 2 weeks ago, bro. They were assaulting me. They were abusing me. So since then, I've given up on trying to justify.
What they start calling out to Pulis and that?
Yeah. Do you know?
If that wins you a Prem, you take it though, no?
Yeah, but you're not entertaining the neutral, though.
Yeah. Oh, that's why you said it. That's why you said it a minute.
You're not
Right. I
entertaining
see.
the
I
neutral.
It's all
wondered why
connected
you
now,
were
isn't
saying
it?
that. I was thinking, what
It's all
duty did
connected.
Manchester United have to entertain
The
the
dots are
neutrals?
The maths is mathing, bro.
They abuse me. I'm still.
Because
This
Cheeks,
is
I
trauma.
had no idea what happened 2 weeks ago, so I was thinking,
Sorry,
like, he
sorry.
sounds deluded, mate. What is he talking about?
I love you.
I was like, why does he care about entertaining neutrals? It shouldn't really matter if they want to win.
Bro, no, don't. You lot are not allowed to laugh now because you lot all let that happen to me. You lot all let that happen to me and enjoyed it.
It happens to the best of us.
I
Everyone got
couldn't take it serious when I was seeing it. I thought, no, they got to be. I didn't think it was serious.
Bro, they stressed me
yeah,
out.
but what's your opinion on the Southampton situation now? This what do you
No, Ramsdale's gonna play fucking amazing.
Oh,
I can guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. He's gonna be doing the worm. He's gonna jump off the top rope.
hands come
He's
out.
gonna do a backflip.
I hope they're chipping like from 40 yards out.
Oh shit! No, it's a 40 yards. You know when he's running back to the goal.
And you know what? No, even worse than that, he's looking at a pigeon. And then the
You're mad.
He's got a Game Boy in his hand, chatting up the bird. We just score.
Yeah, what's your prediction, bro? What's your prediction?
We should smoke him, man. It's the Saints, man. We should. What's it? Ramsdale's gonna play amazingly, but it ain't gonna be enough, man. Realistically, I feel.
What Ramsdale are we going to see? Like the one we saw against Leicester in that game a few seasons ago. Do you remember like the save, Maddison free kick save? Like that sort of level of Ramsdale?
Possibly better. Possibly better. I think he's going to have a great game. He's going to be pinging 60-yarders. He might, you know what? Fuck it. He's going to hit the crossbar. He's going to hit the fucking crossbar. Watch. But yeah, no, but I'd say easy 3-4-0. Nothing too spicy. Yeah.
Cool, man. What's other people's predictions, man? Toon, what do you reckon? Arsenal?
4-0. 4-0 Arsenal or Newcastle.
4-0
Arsenal. Cass,
what's your prediction, man?
Ramsdale is letting in 3 goals.
What's your prediction, man?
I think they score 5.
Bro, everyone's
I think it's about time Arsenal send a statement, really. And Southampton are the team to do it against. I've been looking at a cheeky triple captain on fantasy, you know.
What, Saka?
Oh,
Probably Havertz.
Trossard.
Havertz over Saka.
Trossard's a shout.
Havertz over Saka, chicks. Are you gonna have that, bro? Oh, bro. That's crazy.
Do you know what it is? Saka failed to deliver last week, didn't he, Chinks? I didn't put him in, and he didn't get any points.
Pause. But yeah, wow.
I have to be so aware on this show.
They're crazy.
Hey.
Fuck, what's the question?
No, you're talking about Havertz versus Saka, innit? You said Havertz is more effective than.
No, but you know what? Saka. You lot know my viewpoints on Saka. I think he's amazing. He's just not. He's just not as pretty as some others. He's very efficient.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And not even a shot. But I think Palmer's very good. Personally, I want to see if he can be consistent with it. Because I think it's a bit too soon to be crowning someone world class after 18 months. But that's opinion, innit? It's what you want to view world class as. So no one's wrong and no one's right. Do you get what I mean? But Havertz might be our tactically most important player. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen him do so much things, and his relationship with Trossard as well. I've seen him score headers. I've seen him drop deep. I've seen him defend. I've seen him play Odegaard's role. Because what's good, Odegaard been missing. We've had Havertz has been doing Odegaard's defensive work, but Trossard has been doing Odegaard's creative work. So he's used them 2 players to make us up for us missing Odegaard. So not even a shot. Saka's very good, but I can understand the Havertz shout because he's given us many faces, so we can drop deep. if we have to. We can squeeze you in like we did against Leicester and PSG. And I think he's like a main part of us being so multifaceted in our play style. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Southampton is gonna win 9-0. That's from CCM 199. Big up the super
I
chat.
love how the comments come up on this one on this platform. It's crazy.
Oh, it's
Bro,
Ramsdale on
slide
loan.
is smooth. And also from CCM, Ramsdale
loan?
can't play. He's lost loan. Okay.
Is he on
Oh,
loan?
I thought they bought him.
I thought he bought
I
him.
thought it was 18 M's, or it might be end of the season.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So, yeah, boy, you know what? I predict 4. One better than
yeah. I was gonna say if Ramsdale don't play, it could be an absolute like
that's crazy.
route.
That's
Yeah.
mad. I didn't even realize that. All right, cool. We're gonna go to. Let's look at who've United got. Yeah, who've Man U got?
Villa, innit?
Look,
No, he's not on loan.
Villa.
And you got Villa. Slow down.
No, yeah, 25 mils signed him. So
No,
Yeah,
Man,
they
you've
signed him.
Yeah, they've signed him. Yeah,
yeah, he can
18.
play. He can play.
Yeah,
Man, you've got Villa for real. Oh,
Yeah.
let's
Is that Villa Park?
And wait, you got Porto tomorrow, so they might have a new
Oh
manager.
yeah,
as well.
Villa. Oh,
they won't. I don't think they will be. Even if it's Man United, they'll just. I think they'll bin them off the last for Villa. That's your goodbye, mate. Like then a 2-week break, probably give it to Rude and then try to identify whoever they want. It's kind of obvious, man. No other fucking. You know what the thing is, yeah. No other top. I keep saying it time and time again. It's like people don't listen when I say it. No other top team accepts this shit. By the way.
Especially the size of
I don't
United.
even think Newcastle accepts something like this. I don't think Villa even accepts something. They got rid of Steven Gerrard, but they were in a much worse position then because they were like hovering above. You spend 650 million, and yet you ain't seen. I don't know why they just didn't get rid of him after the Liverpool game. I'll be honest, but they did. I just think that Ineos didn't want to look like dickheads. So, and now ultimately, you just need to learn to take your L's, mate. You done a lot of things right. It looks correct. It looks good on paper, but at the end of the day, you can't get all W's. You have to take an L somewhere. This is the L. Hold it, go with it. You win some, you lose some, and this one is your biggest howl. It backfired. You know, he sold you into a story thinking once you get everything in place, mate. On the pitch, he's lost, mate. You can't trust men that have dysfunctional looking bald heads and craniums that dip.
Whoa.
It just don't look right. It's not clean.
All right, dude, your head doesn't dip, man.
He looks like the Conehead thing from like the Conehead man from Star Wars, the Jedi brother. Don't trust a man that looks like that.
I hear it.
Simple as.
Coneheads. I hear it. But what's the cool thing? What? Hold on.
Coneds, I hear it.
Let's see if I repeated what I said as well. What's the score prediction, bro?
I hope the nil is 3-0 minimum to Villa.
Hey, are you gonna do a hate along to it?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, your own team. I love it.
That's crazy.
I hate it.
You know what? I've never been in this position since Ollie, right? So, and it's like I wanted to lose against Watford. I said, please, just deliver 4-0, 3-0. Just deliver the final blow because this is pissing me off. So I'm at that stage. I don't want United to win because you need to take a little lick back to get to go further forward. You know what I mean? You know, you just you gotta learn, innit? Got to learn at one point, and these fans got to learn. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to celebrate Villa scoring goals. That's just sneaky, but it's annoying, isn't it? But it is what it is now. So punish these man. It's like getting the belt. If anyone knows about the belt, the cable wire across the ankles and all that, United fans need
That's a safeguard.
United. If anyone knows,
Yeah.
you gotta learn.
Nice to see you. To see you, nice.
You gotta learn the consequences, bro. And these United fans that want to sing my man's name and sing some of these brass players as well and all these shit, they're fucking delusions, bro. Like these top reds are idiots. Honestly, I can't. Not all of them, but majority of them, the ones that sit in the Stretford end, you're fucking off your head, mate. They don't watch nothing but Man United. They think singing the name is proper supporting, but you need a Manc accent to do it, though, innit? Or whatever, man. Fucking idiots, man.
So the score prediction is
4-0.
4-0.
4-0 Aston Villa.
Going 2-0. 2-0 Man U. 2-0 Man U from me.
Gas
Man U.
I got faith in old Eric.
Hey, Reggie, what's your prediction against Villa?
Yeah, sorry, man, for being late. I've got Villa to win 7-0.
7-0.
Thank you.
That's crazy.
It actually suits him.
Oh, you didn't know I changed.
It actually suits him. It actually suits him.
Now. Yeah. All right. Cool. Dan.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I don't know whether Ten Hag just pulls out a draw and keeps it alive because I thought he might beat Spurs, but I don't know, to be honest with you.
That was foolish.
I'm gonna say like a 2
See, my days are gone without you. And I'm holding on with you. My heart can take no more.
Oh, you're there with the 4-0, yeah? Hey, please, go on.
Oh, what? Man U Villa.
Yeah, Man U.
I told you, Man U 2-0.
2-0.
Greenwood hat trick.
Greenwood. You guys are crazy. Do you know what? I'm kind of with Dan on this one, and I'm not just trying to like. I have this feeling that whenever Ten Hag's back is against the wall,
Said this against Tottenham, by the way.
no, but he's back winning again. I knew Tottenham would win.
It was. They said they got 3 games to survive, and Tottenham was one of them.
But this gives opportunity for Ten Hag to play the counter-attacking football that he really wants to play, rather than the pressing football.
You sure Emery will do that first? Because Emery don't mind doing that, you know.
Man U's fans are pissed off. Anytime you say anything positive about Man U, they just cut you off.
I know.
I
forgot myself.
Honestly, actually, is a good question. Do you honestly think a draw keeps him in a job, though, regardless?
Yes.
Ooh.
I don't think they've got a replacement. And even if they have replacement, it could make things worse. They know this. I don't think it's a good time. That's what I'm saying. It can. If it doesn't improve and you got a new coach, then people start looking at the structure. They actually look at the directors. They're like, oh no, it's not the coach. It's you guys. And so I think that's the worst fear for the directors, if anything. So I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
Cool. I'm gonna go for. I think
you get sacked tomorrow, you know.
Never.
He's gone tomorrow. Hey, he's gone tomorrow. I swear I'll predict a Man United 3-1 win. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking. If he gets sacked tomorrow, the bounce would be incredible, fam. It'll be like watching Pinky all over again.
Yeah, you know what?
If you know.
That's so Pinky, Hey, old school.
Pinky in the brain.
Yeah. Put me through some hard time.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about well, there's Pinky and there is some brain if you want to talk about it.
Exactly.
Can I ask a favour then? After that, his prediction can I ask a favour about Man U?
Yeah.
Or Manchester
Deji, if you say something mad, I'm gonna rescind the camera.
Look at the smile on his face.
Wait, hold on, Deji.
He knows he's done.
Wait, Deji, hold on. Did the camera come?
No, it hasn't come.
Alright, that's a job. I'm gonna get another one now, man.
I'm starting to think that you're setting me up here, Cass. And I know what it is. You called it the bad man, and you called it back after that lamping that you received on the weekend. Can I just ask a genuine question to the panel? Because it's something that I've been struggling with. I'm not gonna lie. I've tried speaking to Ash about it offline, and it's starting to affect how I communicate. Should Manchester Piccadilly lose this weekend, what do we do with them? That's a legit question.
Can I answer that one, Deji? If somehow
that's 4 defeats in 7, by the way.
Deji, let me get this straight. You've got Brighton away this weekend, right?
Don't worry about that one.
And so if all this is why I say, Man United's work is Tottenham's best, no matter what. If we go into the international break, Deji, with only 3 points behind Tottenham Hotspur, what does that make? What does that say about you?
I just want to know if you've taken 4 L's in your first 7. What do we do with it?
What my question? I answered the question with a question. Like, by the way, you can do it. You done it for Chelsea last year. Now they're above you, innit? That's how life hits you fast. But if Man United are 3 points behind Tottenham, into the international break, how should we relate to Spurs?
3 points, you know. Woo!
Nah, wait, don't flip it. Don't flip it. Like, let's
We have
answer
to.
Deji's
No, we have
question.
to. We have to.
Nah,
You
let's
understand?
answer. Deji got there first, Cass. Don't flip it
And
and
you don't even
divert
like
this.
you don't even
Thank
like your
you.
team, man. Don't worry about
No,
that.
wait, when did I say that? What?
We all know.
Hey,
Man.
is this the suicide thing now? Like, is this
What?
when
I'll
hang on a
I'll
minute.
send for
That's
everyone.
not
I've
a fair
got,
comment.
He's taking
That's not a
everyone
fair
with him.
comment.
I've got folders on everyone, bro. Don't
Yeah.
worry. I've got you think you think Ash, you too, bro. I got most man, not on this panel, yeah, but most man that come onto my thing, I clip you lot up. I wait for my moments. You're getting a you know what I mean? So
Yeah, but I know I can sit here and say that I've never said I dislike my own team.
yeah, well.
Like that's just not true. I'm passionate about it, and I hate the fact that we're not winning trophies like we should be. That doesn't mean I hate them. I have standards that we ain't meeting at the moment.
Yeah,
Dan, you're chasing shadows here. Don't worry.
Yeah, man.
I think we need to answer. We need to answer
John
Deji's
Terry,
What
the train incident.
What are we doing with Manchester if it's okay?
they don't.
No,
call
but
me-
sorry, yeah. But is Cass's question not legit? Man, you are going through a literal crisis. No, but in response, because he's basically saying we're both at Weight Watchers, we're both overweight.
We're not.
You've lost a little. You've lost 2 pounds. You can't speak to me like this, basically. And he's kind of got a point.
No, I told Hidcast last week. We used the analogy Apollo 13 and the Titanic.
then I responded back.
He rebuffed it, and after the lamping that they received on the weekend, it looks like I was correct. One is going in the rocket on the way.
No, but you know why you can't do that, Deji?
Down.
You know why you can't, yeah? Because when you think about it, yeah. Remember, we lost Trossard or whoever we lost at City, and then like the cowards we are, we kept all 10 men behind the ball, and we didn't make it entertaining and go for it. As you quoted, it was dusty.
Yeah, it was
so you have to put respect.
Life.
You have to put respect on Man U's name for going a man down and still keeping it entertaining and trying to hit you on the counter. So in your own words, you've got to kind of respect Man U for being ballsy and going for it.
That's why I asked the question. I didn't give my opinion. I just wanted to know when they lose their 4th game of the season, what do we do with them? Now, for me, I've been struggling I've got an idea because I need to be doing my own show on Spurs King TV, and I'm thinking of doing a show with Cass. If I can find a Wolves supporter and someone, that's what I'm suggesting. So that's what I'm giving now. That's what I'm going to do. Has anyone else got any other ideas as well?
You know why I got to agree with you because that's smart. Because as you've got 2 like smaller clubs on the show, you need like a main attraction, i.e., like a Man U fan, to really bring the audience in. So I like what you're doing there.
Wait. One sec as well. Did you say Wolves and what other?
So I'm thinking
like a Forest fan or something. Yeah,
I'm thinking.
So like a Forest fan. Yeah,
you Wolves,
Forest
Wolves, someone from Ipswich, and then.
You're trying to. You know what Deji's trying to do them. It's a good thing because Deji, like I said, you mentioned Titanic, I mentioned Survivor, innit? You mentioned Apollo 13, but I said it's like Tottenham. Is it even real?
I remember the last team. The last team is Southampton.
But the thing is, you're trying to think of teams that don't have more trophies than Tottenham. So that's why you had to think.
What did you tell him?
Don't mess with these top 6 guys. Leave these top 6 guys alone. Leave these man alone, man. Honestly, Deji, man. Leave this man alone.
Remember, like, I'm just gonna say, Deji, innit? Like, last time you won a league, Martin Luther King were making speeches.
You see? You wait till Dan turns around and said, "How many Champions Leagues you got, bruv?" That day's coming.
I'll be back soon.
Tottenham were regarded as a good team back in the 70s and 60s. And we've even got another person on this panel that's got more leagues than you, and ain't won in the.
You know what it is?
They haven't won in a century.
You're right. So as you're talking about. Tottenham was a this and that. I think the thing that
he's rattled.
Is the fact that you're not a good team now, And that's very, very
Why
painful.
do we go
We're
with
not a good team
Deji?
now.
Deji,
Look,
He's-
I'm,
he's
I'm,
predictions.
you know what it is? Can I be real, Chinks?
So can we
Can I be real?
are we allowed to admit then, Deji?
I'm gonna keep it
basically
real,
you're
and
there.
I wanna be honest on this show because I love Cass as a brother.
I don't like you.
I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared to give Man United airtime or any form of respect.
Oh, you just said you wanted to do a show.
This team, yeah, the show I'm doing for you is relegation.
Yeah, but you said you don't want to
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. Relegation dogfight. You lose this weekend, that's 4-7. That's relegation zone, bro. That's what I'm doing. No
That
one
was
does
well
a relegation zone. No one does a relegation show this early. How about that? Yeah, but you're in it. And it'll start from Monday.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Deji finds his 2 minute of fame limelight. Like
It's
it's
better
like
than a
life.
I warned you, Cass.
Deji, life hits you.
warning
Trust
you.
me, life just will hit. As a Spurs fan, I don't know how you haven't understood. Life hits you, man, fast.
Hey,
And you know what? I'll
warned-
always say this, and it's worked since I've been on YouTube, and it still continues. At the end of the day, I will end up having the last laugh, regardless whether it's a trophy in a shit season or just a trophy in a decent season or just being above you. At the end of the day, I always have the last laugh. And guess what? Deji, I even if United was in relegation, I would still bet my team to win a trophy before Tottenham does. And I think actually if anyone were betting men on the panel, I think they would too.
I think anyone with self-respect. Sorry, Mandem, but I'll just make this last comment. I would not want to swap places with you in the last 2 years.
Them bracket ones. Them
Deji,
brackets.
you know why you wouldn't? Because you don't know what it feels like to actually taste success.
No.
I would understand why you wouldn't.
You see why I've got. Can I tell you all why I've got beef with Cass? Because Cass lied to me 2 years ago.
You lied to me too. I've got a clip.
And we've got the receipts. Dan, let me tell you what Cass said to me. When they won the Carabao Cup, Cass shook his bum violently. He said to me, Dej, the reason why you win the Carabao Cup is because when you win a trophy, it breeds a winning mentality. That's what he said.
That's a fact.
They did win another one after that. Dej.
And they won another one after that. But what happened to them in the league, which is the one that matters the most?
Well, yeah, but
No,
they
but think about
still
it.
won another one. They had
Deji.
the mentality to go on and win another one in another
So,
competition.
Dan, would you take United's last 2 seasons for what they are now?
Over yours.
Over Chelsea's.
Would you
Over Spurs.
Over Spurs.
No,
I'd
even
take
over
over Chelsea
even over
and
Chelsea.
Spurs.
Would you rather have gone through?
Oh yeah, because we're in
winning the
freaking-
Carabao FA Cup to be dusty this season? Would you?
Yeah,
would you want that?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
What? It's trophies, Dej.
You know what?
I'd
Deji?
take trophies over a style of football any
Sorry,
day.
Ash, but I got to respond to this
So
last one.
where do you?
Deji,
Does anyone here
Deji's a hypocrite,
legitimately
and I'll
think?
tell you why.
Does anyone legitimately think that Man U will finish in the top half this season? Could you
If
put your hand
if
up?
they sack their gaffer, yeah,
If they don't sack him, do you?
yeah,
think they'll be
probably
top half?
still, probably just like 9th.
Can you imagine that?
Deji, you also lied. You told
I can't
me.
remember the
Deji,
time
Deji,
Spurs were
do you
ninth.
remember?
I can't
Do you
remember.
remember? We reminisced and only not too long ago as it goes on the stream and you laid out the plan of when you said you was going to win the Champions League. Do you remember that one? You laid out the plan.
Yeah, with 2027, 28, I expect Tottenham to win a major
No,
trophy.
no. You laid out the plan during that season. You had AC Milan. Do you remember?
Okay, yeah,
and then we showed you the route. And you also said if you're not winning a championship, winning a what was you going to win? What happened there, Dej?
Do you know what happened? And
So you lied.
No, I didn't lie. I'll just say this. Sorry, peeps.
Are you Anjin now?
In Ange needed to win. I told you, Ange needed to win the 3 games.
Oh,
Had he lost one of those games, I would have.
Wait, Dej, that is actually true. The last time we spoke, you said that, and he's won 4 in a row.
That's what I'm saying, baby.
No, but that's
what I'm saying.
No, because
sometimes you got to set a challenge for your gaffer. You understand? Don't do Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall and stay on the wall. Set a challenge. That's what we did, and he delivered.
I've got
4 games
after a stream, and he said Ange out, and also he said my gaffer said I win things. He's got my. Yeah. This is my. What did he say? He was my thing in my gaffer, my manager. You remember that one? You said you had to win it.
Can you confirm if Spurs are out of any competition?
You mean might as well just write off now. You are.
No,
Don't
but
know which one it is.
we're involved in all 4 competitions at the moment.
Yeah, and
It's
how
very
long's that
difficult.
gonna? How long's that gonna last? Did you? How was Coventry?
It was fine.
He gulped. He gulped.
It was
Say
fine.
that.
We're
Say
through.
that. Say, and
It's
who you got?
fine.
Who you got?
I'm gonna do
Wait,
a
wait,
jinx.
wait,
I'm
hold
gonna do
on.
a jinx.
Wait,
I'm gonna
wait.
pretend.
Who you got next?
I'm gonna pretend
Who you
that
got
it was
next?
a positive performance against Leicester.
Pretend.
Yeah,
What
it was
is
a
this?
great performance. We played well.
What is this?
They were
Indian
lucky
fella,
to
bro?
score 2
Hey.
goals past us. We do that. Coventry
Deji,
game, they were lucky
Deji,
to have the
Deji, who you
ball.
got next? Who you
We
got next?
got the result.
Who you got next?
We got Brighton.
No, in the cup.
We got City. Can I be real though?
How many competitions are you in now?
Can I be real?
No,
Out of all the teams, can I be real?
How many competitions are we in now?
Out of all the teams on the panel, if you ask me which team would you want in a cup competition, I would have said Plymouth Argyle. I would have gone for Manchester City. Spurs get results against them. We are their their bogey team. Ash, I lie. Are we not their bogey
That's
team?
crazy.
You know what?
You know what's mad? Do you know what the crazy
We
thing
are
is?
their bogey team.
That's actually a disrespect to yourself calling yourself City's bogey team. Because your
Doesn't
bogey
matter.
team, a bogey team is like
I
a
don't
shit
care.
team that should never beat you,
I don't.
and then they do. Surprisingly, that's crazy.
Every time we
That's
go to
crazy.
City, we're expecting to
Yeah.
lose, and
Wait,
we win.
is it at City?
That's like us with Reading. Reading always got us sometimes.
Where is it? Where is it?
They come to our game.
No, where is it? Where is it? Where is
They come
it?
to
Like
our
Adam
game.
Lafondra Day.
Is it at home?
I
Wait.
would have City all day, a day.
Wait, where is it? Where is it? I don't even care if Pep plays the
Okay.
kids. Is that your gaff, yeah? So we like to talk about this season and we like to think about current situations. But if we go to relevance of bogey, how many wins did you have over City last year?
We didn't have any last year, but the previous, that was the first time, though. That was the first time in a minute. That was the
You got
first
some
time
tissue.
in a minute.
Listen, the bogey's been flicked.
That was the
That's
first time in a
disrespectful.
minute. Usually we're guaranteed a win. We're guaranteed a win.
Yeah, man. You know what? You're lucky Pep says he's gonna play the kids, but even then, I still think they're
Anyway,
better,
you know
better
what?
than Timo Werner and that.
I rate you, you know.
Why?
You successfully took the heat away from your club.
I'm sour now in this bitch when I want to, innit? You lot are just my orcs. Do you know what I mean, blood? I keep telling you, blood. I'm just gonna tell you. It is what it is. I'm the master.
Tottenham will slap Man City up. We know that. Plymouth Argyle will slap
The
them.
thing is, Deji, no Tottenham fan can go bar to bar with me. That's just disrespectful, regardless on all sorts.
I think I've shown you in the last week.
I can hear it from Chelsea. I can probably hear it from Arsenal at some.
You can't go bar to bar with us.
To some degree, but you, man, there's no respect there. I'll be
The
honest.
only thing going for you back in the day was the witchcraft. That's what we all know. You know what I'm saying? It was the witchcraft. As soon as your daddy wizard left, the whole thing flopped.
No, but you know what? But you know what's mad though, yeah, because you're so, and I gotta respect you, yeah, because to do this and you do it so well for content, yeah, but you get so caught up in the content that your points have no consistency. So you're saying you're better than Man U. Why? Because of league position. Because it can't be trophy wise in the last 2 years. So it's about league position, isn't it? Because that's all you're talking about. But then
the league doesn't lie.
No, but okay, cool. So cool. But before you, so that means you have to speak to about Arsenal way more respectfully because we finish above you in the league, but you don't.
In the last 2 years, prior to that, we finished above you for 6 years in a row.
Yeah, but you just said to Cash you wouldn't. You just said to Cash you wouldn't swap your 2 years for his 2 years.
How many?
So why you? Why can I? Why is it only 2 years?
No, look, I'm giving it to you. You are better than us at the moment, but even when you play us. Last season we were in transition anyway. But I give you that you are better than us. But this season we showed that we're a better footballing team than you.
So Deji, I've got a question, and you like to say 2 years. You said you like to say 2 years. In the last 2 years, how many times has Man United finished above Spurs?
Bro, I don't really. Once.
Yeah, and that you used to finish up above us once. So how can you be better? But yet you want to give it to Arsenal?
Bro, but come on, man. Are you Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder?
Bro, that's what sometimes I wonder about you, because guess what? Even
Yeah.
how about the year before that you finished above
but
me,
you-
but the year before that I finished
But
above you
are
too.
you
So,
saying
And
that
won
you're-
a trophy, though.
so
After the way-
if it's not a league position, if it's not trophies and whatever else, what is it then?
Can I this
You're
what-
choking.
Your
what I
manager
don't like-
said you're joking. Your
what I
manager's
don't-
not
what I
Australian.
don't like is this
You
confusion.
sound like Clarence from 8 Mile, my bro. Just stop.
Can I just ask everyone on the panel, how many Carabao Cups is equivalent to a Premier League
Your
title?
You
biggest.
keep asking this question.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
comparable.
You know what, then? You
Man.
know what? Can we put some
You're
respect
just
on
a
it? Let me
hater.
admit, yeah, Expressions is the best, probably out of football content creators. He's probably the best. Yeah, he's number one. Even he has a go out of his mum for making him support Spurs.
That was a low
That's-
blow.
Now that should tell you everything you need to know by your own top dog.
That what?
That even he has a go at his own parents
I'm not gonna
for
lie.
making him support Spurs.
Can I be real? I don't give a damn.
Yeah, well,
That's his business. Do you get
hey,
me? That's
yo,
his business.
everything you
I
need to
mean,
know.
no one gives a damn.
It's called a bit
As
of
for my,
reality.
let me tell you, he will shake his bum when my team wins the Premier League. He
Oh,
will
we
shake
know.
his bum
Wait,
when we
when?
win the Champions
When?
League. What I'm saying to you, man, is let's not lie. What you guys try to do, and you do really well, Dan, you're included in this because you like to do these little lies as well, is you're trying to, this nostalgia
Now he's lashing
that
out.
we grew up on, you're trying to keep it relevant when you know it's not relevant.
Deji,
There's a little bit of that nostalgia in you as well, bro.
Deji. But the thing
Which is
is,
that you're trying to pretend that the Carling Cup, the Coca-Cola Cup, whatever cup, Carabao Cup
the Audi Cup.
means something. It don't mean
Yeah,
nothing.
that was
I'm not being
good
funny. You know what it is, yeah.
Doesn't mean
We have the ability to have nostalgia, but Deji, you actually don't have any. Your thing is the golden era of
But
Pochettino.
you
and still
guys
didn't win.
act like
You got
things
no
don't
nostalgia, bro. Your biggest nostalgia is watching Robbie Keane and Defoe banging some goals against some low block sides, bro.
With
Some
the celebration.
Literally, fam. Peter Crouch knocking it down, Defoe scores. Cranshaw making a run down the wing from an overlap. No one gives a shit. I'll be honest.
I'll be real. I just want you.
You still got
Can't-
Levy in charge. so
I
you don't
can't
know.
wait for you guys to come back. Because right now, whatever you say to me, it's just like it goes
But
in one
you
ear.
said not to have nostalgia, so
Like,
why do you want us to come back?
Look, the only positive thing that has come out of Manchester Piccadilly recently is you.
That sounds bare flamboyant, but
That is you. if you're the only one, you and Saeed are holding up the flag and getting extra subscribers. That is it, bro. Your team is washed. It's dead. They're dead. And I will keep reminding you week in, week out. The show I've got for you is the relegation show. Make sure after you lose to Villa that you're available. At least if you do that for me, I
Deji,
appreciate
I
you.
had a
But
conversation.
you're not on. You're not on this level. You're not on this panel, bro.
I had a
You're not having
so-called.
the same conversation as us.
I had a so-called conversation with one of your friends that you what's it, recommended, and she also agreed that Moorsley Hospital has an appointment waiting for you at 2:25 next week Friday. Camberwell, if you don't know where it is, so you might have to travel a little bit. But
Camberwell,
if you don't know Moorsley Hospital,
Camberwell.
Next Friday might be a bit too far, Cash. You might have to book that a bit earlier.
Hey,
Moorsley Hospital
is that my bedroom? Is that my bedroom that said that
I don't know.
you were off your rocker?
Well, according to Moorsley Hospital, innit? Yeah, we believe that you talk to ghosts, Deji.
Okay.
We think you have play fights with yourself in your sleep over your own team. The diagnosis coming back is on paper is looking kind of mad.
What I will say, if you weren't a content creator, you would be a politician because you're.
I mean,
techniques.
I was building. I was designing and building.
But anyway, no problem at all. We will see. If you get lamped this weekend by Villa, I'm coming for you. Every week you get lamped, I will be coming for you. Just know that.
Hold that one there, Ash. Hold that comment there, yeah. Because this is when you get too caught up in an argument and you act off of emotion and you just make yourself look stupid. Because now he's celebrating that they don't sell players to Man U anymore.
Levy don't sell players to no one. Period.
So now man's celebrating not being a feeder club. You got bigger fish to fry, bro, man. You're making yourself look worse with that argument. Because if all of this shit, because imagine you're saying to Man U, you're not at our level, you shouldn't be here, and you ain't done fuck all
in 65 years.
Yeah.
I think they
bro,
want to. They want to.
at the end of the day, we look ahead. We're not
My
looking
granddad actually had a good time being a Spurs fan. Like, he is a Spurs fan, unfortunately. He tried his hardest, bless him. He's still alive right now, bless him, and hopefully he's got many more years. But I feel like Spurs might send him to an early grave. But hopefully it doesn't. But he actually lived
I
through.
reject that.
He
Come on, reject that, Cass.
No,
Come
he
on,
reject
man.
that.
absolutely he's lived long
Reject
enough.
that. Long life for Grandad, man.
Yeah,
Long
yeah.
life for Grandad.
Hey, brother,
That's what I'm saying.
One more year, Pandem.
I'm just trying to say it. Like, he's lived long enough with it. Yeah, I'm not gonna cap, but he's actually lived through a Spurs era, so I can't fault him for staying there with it. Like, it is what it is. The guy's even Dutch. He's
I will be real.
the maddest part is like Dej.
What I don't appreciate. Yeah, couple of
Dej,
things.
you should be supporting Dagenham and Redbridge, man.
I should actually. That's probably my local club. To be fair,
They
That's
sell
probably
cars.
my
They
local
sell
club.
cars as well.
That's kind of my local club. To be fair, actually. How did you know? How did you know?
Everyone knows that bit.
What
But
are you,
to be
fucking
honest,
tall?
though, I would
You should
say
be an
this:
iron. You should be a hammer.
Newcastle were good back in the day. They didn't win any trophies. Under
No,
Kevin
100 years
Keegan,
ago, yeah.
people respected.
Why are we getting dragged into this?
Do you know what I mean?
Then they fell off. I would say Newcastle today is a respectable team. Even Villa, as much as they did their
Why
thing
are they
today
why are
against
they
Man
respecting
United,
the team?
I don't
Are
think
we gonna do
many
the
of us
predictions?
were surprised.
Why? Villa spent 300 million under Unai Emery. This is expected. And before that, they spent an extra 100, 200 million. This is expected.
Bro,
But
but
no one-
what with this, bro,
You've also
we're not
spent.
sure
The thing
with
is,
the 700 million that Arsenal
you spent more than
that
them.
they would have
By
done
the
that
way,
to Bayern Munich.
under Ange in 2
Yes,
summers,
you
I
could.
think you've spent just over that. Yeah. But why are you not a respectable team? Why are you looking at other teams?
My club is a respectable team. What you
No,
talking about, bro? That's not really the thing.
Guys, so can I just ask predictions for Brighton versus Spurs?
Yeah, two. I can't lie. 2-1 Brighton, innit? Brendan Johnson gets another goal.
And you don't even believe what you just said.
I do. I actually do.
3-0 Brighton.
You know what? Brighton actually gave
Think you're also hating tonight. As well.
Chelsea a decent-ish game. Enough.
Me?
Prediction? Dan?
Oh,
Prediction?
Chinks.
He said 2, and he never said me.
Yeah, I think
Chelsea.
Spurs probably continue their run and win it. You know, I
Big
think
up, Dan.
Brighton didn't look too good against us. So.
Big up, Dan.
Yeah, I say 2-1 Spurs.
Belaber's going to ruin that midfield.
Belaber looked good against us, but they still conceded 4.
What the hell is this for, man? You know when money just comes out your bank? Well, Deji, what are you doing to my bank account, bro?
I ain't doing nothing to it.
Wow.
Yeah, you are, man. This
Wait,
guy.
clip that. Wait, clip that, Deji.
Tottenham's next 2 games are winnable games, man.
Easy talk, man.
3-2 Spurs.
Leicester was a winnable game for you, man. Shut the fuck up.
So was Newcastle, but, you know, end result.
Who's Arsenal got this weekend?
I had shots everywhere.
Fair.
Spartak
Crazy.
Moscow.
Mad strays.
Yeah,
Don't worry about us, bro.
For me personally, we lamped Brighton this weekend. The way that we lamped Manchester.
Can we be honest? Can we be honest?
Brighton's a better team than you, man.
Yeah. Can we be honest as well? Is the result of Man United is that we like to use this word measuring stick? Yeah, like is that the result really a measuring stick of how good Spurs are, or just how shit United
You know
were?
what it is? A lot of people are writing Spurs off for Brighton. They was like, Man United are dead.
I'm writing you off.
A lot of people say Man United don't count. So what are we meant to do?
I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. And then this one wants to say they do count. Do you count or do you not count? Which one is it?
After Sunday, yeah, I expect Deji to say Ange has got another 2 games. Deji is what you call a fence sitter, an open fence
I don't
sitter.
sit
And
on the fence. I'm the one who call. I come out with chest.
the iron bars up
Win,
the
lose, or
bum,
draw.
bro. On the fence.
Cass, can I get you to agree that should your team lose, that I'm allowed on this channel to create a special show that you will turn up every week
As long as
you stop losing?
as long as your doctors like prescribes you.
That's calm. Are you gonna come through?
As long as your doctor approves
Would
it.
you do me the honors next week? If you lose this weekend, I'm gonna do a show that consists of you, an Ipswich fan, a Southampton fan, and what's the other fan that I said?
Wolves.
Wolves. That's it.
Are you,
Let's make sure.
Deji? You're joining me on the panel.
I'm hosting, bro.
Yeah, no,
I'm just the
I
host.
don't think so. I think we should get. I think we should get.
I'm
we should
there
get
for
FaZe.
administrative purposes.
I'm only because
You're there to debate your club.
I think FaZe or Toon should, because they're gonna win this week. I think they should host it because you're joining it. You're joining with me. I'm not the only one going down here.
You're going down on your own, my brother.
To be honest, you are only 3 points ahead of them. To be honest,
Why are you smoking the button? You're only 4 points ahead. You man are only 4 points ahead of Spurs.
yeah, but where
Ooh.
I
They
already
got
knew.
Southampton though.
So if we're
Yeah,
dusty, you're dusty.
Yeah, but we're not going for anything this season, so it don't matter. Do you know what I
What are you
mean?
talking about? And remember, you've got the best defense in the whole Prem.
Deji,
Nah, but you know what it is.
gain some respect, and then we
Let's
might
go
actually
there.
gain some respect by trophies,
Gain
and we
what
might
respect?
respect you a lot more. Your trophy is
Let's talk about the
your
present.
trophy count is closer to Crystal
FaZe
Palace
is-
than my
FaZe is-
club.
FaZe is doing this little fat Joe lean back like his defense is really something.
Nah. You're right. You're right. We're
You know
shit,
what I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah, we're shit. We're actually shit. You know what? I didn't know until you know what? It's when we drew with City. That's when I knew it was a wrap for us and winning the league.
I face
You
just
know
don't
what I
bother.
mean?
Just don't bother, man.
I'm telling you. After when we didn't win the league and we got 4 points from City last season, and Rodri said that's why we didn't win the league.
Wrap it. It's been 3 hours. FaZe
That's
is
why
done, man.
this season, after we drew with City with that dusty performance, I knew there was nothing. The future wasn't bright. The future wasn't orange for us.
I expect a Deji clip up tomorrow on Deji Spurs about this segment
There ain't gonna be nothing
from this show.
There won't be nothing.
No. Put it on. If you don't, I will.
Who's Chelsea playing?
I know, but hold on. Quick question, yeah. So you see how last season, yeah, Deji,
Spurs got Forest at home.
10 games into the season, you was on here saying that you're going to finish above Arsenal and all that, and you was brave enough to even bet me money. So you see that this season, it's been, 6 games, and you're already mouthing off like you lot are the best thing since Harder Bread.
No, I'm not mouthing off, bro.
So
You man are the
what's
best,
the-
remember? You
what's
man
the
are
difference?
The ones, battling with Plymouth Argyle this season, not us.
Yeah, but you played us and you had, 68% possession. So we're no match for you. Do you know what I mean?
At the
What
end
I'm
of the
just
day,
saying.
what I appreciate from you, FaZe, is that real recognize real. And you're not shameless enough you're not going to do that shameless thing where you're going to pretend like you played well. Do you get me? The truth of the matter is you got the result. Do you get me? Look, Leicester scored 2, but they were dusty, but they still managed to score 2 past you, man. So are we going to say that you, man, almost drew the game last weekend? No, you guys were always in control. Because that's the tactics. You had it from, that's what you did. You were in full control and you just you were just flattering Leicester a little bit.
Literally how you play, and you lot are the best attacking team statistically in the whole league this season.
Since
At no point were you worried on the weekend that you might draw that game.
It's literally
By the way,
genuine. I genuinely know. I genuinely know.
By the way, it's
Because
Ryan,
it was part of
Ryan
the
G.
tactics.
Is that his name? Ryan G in the comments right there. I didn't even know Wolves fans existed outside the stadium, other than Wolves FI from Finland. Ryan, how about this, My team, I played at the Molyneux twice. My team has scored more goals at the Molyneux in 2 games than your own club has at your own gaff this season. How about that?
Fuck that. Your main attraction is an Audi. So what are you talking about?
Who?
It's a Scandinavian supermarket, Wolves. So how are you in there talking shit?
Is that why they support Wolves? Some of them.
Yeah. Their biggest tourist attraction is an Audi. They got the Audi megastore.
Man, them.
You heard Madueke. You heard what he said on his story.
I'm just saying it, man. My team Upload United has scored more goals at the Molyneux than you lot have this season, innit? That should say something. How about it? Monster's got more goals than your players.
Pick up the chat each and every time. That's what I'm gonna
Every time. Big up the chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Man, I'm even a bit wild right
Well,
now.
you know what? After all these predictions of shameless Deji, I expect Deji to be there next season. I expect him to be in the comments and stop this content creation because you have a reputation to behold. Your family care about you, Deji, and I told you, Managerial Hospital will help you out.
Bro, let me be real. I'm just going to say this because I know everyone wants to go and sleep. We've all got work tomorrow, bro.
Do you have work tomorrow, Deji?
Bro, once Tottenham confirm, that's me and you done.
Job centre watching.
Deji, are you working tomorrow away from home?
I am working tomorrow. And I'm working tomorrow. And
Away from home?
no, I'm actually home tomorrow.
It looks like you're getting ready to go, man. This is what I'm saying. Maudsley Hospital will sort you out, my friend.
Man's had his jacket
Bro, can I be real?
on. He's had his jacket on the whole show.
When you're talking
about-
Where you're talking about Maudsley or whatever, I'm just gonna let me also offer something as a bedroom. I hope that your team can do what Dan suggested. I hope you man finish 9th.
Well, Deji, I hope that your kids don't support Spurs because you've gone through a life of 40 years nearly of misery.
Yeah.
I don't wish that upon
Are
you.
you happy right now? I like, share, subscribe, big up each and everyone in the chat, big up the panel. We're gonna end it there, man, because we've got 60 people there. Big up the panel each and every time.
Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
I think I am the kryptonite to Deji. I think he can't handle it.
Well, yeah, guys, big up.
I've got responses for you all day.
Yeah, that's calm.
We could do this all day, man. But yeah, unfortunately, we can't. But yeah, big up each and everyone. Big up
Ashley's 11 hours of sleep.
to FaZe, Cass.
Big up.
Big up, man. Big up.